hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. Today I've put together all 31 of the Easter DIYs that I've made so far this year in 2024 together in one crafting marathon video for you. So for the first set of DIYs, we're going to be doing traditional and easy Easter DIYs using supplies from the Dollar Tree. I had a lot of fun putting these together. For the first DIY, we're going to be doing a fuzzy little Easter bunny on a beautiful spring wood round. For the wood round, we're using just a Dollar Tree wood round. And what I want to do is cover it with some of the Dollar Tree scrapbook paper. This pack is called Frozen, and I really like that color right on top. The light blue color, and the scrapbook paper is great because it's large enough to cover the Dollar Tree wood rounds when regular like 8.5 by 11 is too small. I'm just going to flip mine over, just use a pencil to sketch out my circle so I can go ahead and cut that out. And then we can use that to cover the wood round. If you don't have any scrapbook paper, you could always paint it blue. You're going to get a very similar effect, but I think using paper kind of makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just going to carefully try to cut out a circle. Why is cutting a circle so difficult? But if I don't get it exactly perfect, I can always sand the edges of it once I attach it. So as you can see, it fits perfectly on there. You don't have to pair anything together. So we're just going to use Mod Podge on the wood round. I'm going to do a nice coat of Mod Podge all over. Try to make sure I get all of the edges and everything like that. And the cardstock's not super heavy. And it kind of has like a shiny side and a flat side. I'm going to use the shiny side up and just lay that on my Mod Podge, smoothing it out, making sure I don't have any bubbles. Sometimes a paper towel, like a dry paper towel, can help with that because you don't want to, you want to kind of dry any glue that might have seeped out. Now, once I got that on there, I just went around and sanded all the edges to give me that perfect round shape because my cutting may not have been so precise. What I want to do is do like a blue floral background and then do a really cute little fuzzy Easter bunny for right on top. And I absolutely love how this one turned out. Now for the hanger, I just need to go ahead and pop the holes through the scrapbook paper where the existing holes are. One of the Cricut weeders work really great for that. And we could restring a hanger on that and kind of get this part of the sign prepared. Hey, I found one of these little yarn keepers from the Dollar Tree the other day, and I thought that would be great for my twine to keep it clean on my workbench and stuff like that, and to keep like the end out. And look how cool that is. Great find for $1.25. I like to string mine through and knot them on the front. I find that my thinner Dollar Tree signs like this hang a little bit better when I do it that way, and I just make a hanger for it. Now this is the Easter bunny I chose. It is like the white wood Easter bunny from Dollar Tree. Super cute. I love DIYing with this bunny. And I can kind of see the areas of blue that are visible, and I wanted to use some of the little rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. They have a couple versions of these with leaves. I didn't really want tropical for this one, so I'm kind of just trimming out, the greenery that's not necessarily like palm leaves and stuff like that. I can save those for another more coastal DIY. And the great thing about these is you just peel and stick. So I went ahead and put the bunny on there just so I kind of know what's going to be visible and what's not. And then I just scrape those on. Sometimes these work better than others. You just need to get a good scraping on there. And if you start peeling it up and you find that it's not all down, just place it right back down and you can usually fix that. But I'm doing some of the larger ones here on the side because I have like a little bit more room. And we're going to be adding flowers to this later too, but this is going to be the greenery. We're using a lot of spring florals for these DIYs today. I think I'm really into flowers for spring this year, a little bit more than even normal. So I wanted to do a lot of spring flowers today in these DIYs. So I'm gonna do all the areas that are kind of visible. So I even did the top and the side here, and just kind of random, really no rhyme or reason. I want it to kind of look like, like a wallpaper background or something like that. And I have a little bit of room here at the bottom, so I have some smaller leaves too, so I might as well add some greenery right down there too. I want it to look not so plain, and that did a great job with that. Now for the Easter bunny, I told you I wanted to make a fuzzy Easter bunny, so let's do that. I start with the sign. I just removed the hanger, and we're going to be using one of the little automotive towels from Dollar Tree because I wanted a fuzzy bunny, but I didn't want it quite as fuzzy as the mop heads because those are really thick. I just wanted a fuzzy one, and these are the fuzziest towels. I love DIYing with these. So as you can see, I can just cover the Easter bunny with the towel. So I'm going to flip it over upside down like this. The fuzzier side is on the bottom there. And then I'm just going to use a Sharpie to kind of loosely sketch out the Easter bunny. I'm trying not to get too close to the Easter bunny because I want to be able to cut off all of the color that we're adding here because of course it's a white Easter bunny. I don't want like all the blue lines on there. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging to cut out, but I thought this was probably the easiest way to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of cut the square out, and then just going around with some of my sharpest scissors, trying to actually just cut this Sharpie line off, which was a little tricky, and I did have to go back and kind of touch it up here and there to try to get all that off. Again, this is going to be the back of the bunny, but being white, the Sharpie might show through. I don't know. You kind of have to use a marker. I guess you could have used maybe a little bit of a lighter color, but you're still going to have to kind of cut all of that off. So I'm just going to carefully go around the sketch of the bunny. There's really no crazy shapes. Probably the most difficult part was like the little bunny cheeks there, but it doesn't have to be too intricate. Just like a little bumpy over here. And I love how this turned out. This is like probably one of my favorite ways to cover one of the bunnies from the Dollar Tree. I absolutely love decorating for Easter. I have like an Easter bunny collection that I started right out of college, and it's like one of my favorite things to decorate for because I think the little fuzzy bunnies are so cute. So I went ahead and trimmed the rest of it off and then flip it over, and you can see how fuzzy and cute this little bunny is. I'm going to go ahead and lay that on top. And you can kind of like spread it out with your hands to kind of, get all of the fuzziness to kind of go the same direction. So I'm just making sure that it's going to fit really well. Nothing's really going to overhang. And now it's just a matter of gluing it on. I just started here at the bottom of the bunny and did a bead of hot glue right down there. I guess you could use Mod Podge if you wanted, but it is a pretty heavy towel that you're attaching to it, so I thought hot glue would work well, and it actually did. You can't really see any of the hot glue through it. It doesn't seep through or anything like that. So I just kind of do one little section here at a time with the bunny, hot gluing that down. I'm not going to give it any details or anything like that because it's going to be the back of the bunny. And we can go ahead and start kind of laying out what this is going to look like by putting it on the little blue floral background. It's going to fit on there nicely. It's going to overlap the edges a little bit, but I kind of like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing it down. I am going to do a bunny tail on that, but I'm going to go ahead and glue it down to the wood round right now. Just kind of putting hot glue all over. There was a little bit of bow in the bunny, so I want it to be flat against the wood round. And it's a nice substantial piece now. Combining it with that thinner wood round, it makes it look a little bit more high end. So just making sure everything is glued down, we can start working on the bunny tail. This is a bunny tail I'm going to use. It's from the Little Bunny Yarn Craft Kit from the Easter section at Dollar Tree. There's lots of other options you could use for bunny tails too, but I really like the look of this, and I really like the pink color. So I'm just going to attach that little pom-pom with hot glue for a nice fluffy bunny tail. And then for the flowers, I'm going to use some of the soft pink baby's breath from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to pull the actual petals off of these and attach those to the sign, kind of over on the sides where I kind of have more room, where I can kind of scatter out flowers. You can see how cute that looks. It gives another like 3D aspect to the sign, kind of like the fuzzy bunny red on top. So I start with just one flower, even though the baby's breath are like 2 flowers combined. I'm just going to do one layer at a time. And just kind of scatter those around, just hot gluing those down with a dot of hot glue. And I love that. I think that really finished off that floral background for this little Easter decoration. So cute. I did 3 on the right and 3 on the left. And then I just need to go through and kind of get my second flower to glue on top to kind of make them look a little bit more full. So then I am just going to do a dot of hot glue in the middle of each one of those flowers and add my second layer. Just made them look even prettier. I thought about like doing something for the center of the flowers, but you know what? I don't think it really needs that. And this is how it turned out, our little fluffy bunny on a floral background. I think it is beautiful. And you can just see how fuzzy it is and cute. Really a fun way to decorate one of those little Easter bunnies with a big pink fluffy bunny tail. Absolutely adorable, and I just love the flowers on there. I think it just really kind of makes the piece. What do you guys think about our first Easter DIY today? If you're enjoying today's video so far, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. We're really close to 30,000 subscribers. Okay, for the next DIY, I'm going to be using one of these little wire baskets from the Dollar Tree. They have these in all kinds of pastel colors right now. I chose pink. I'm doing a lot of pink with my spring decor this year, and I wanted to do an egg basket planter. Now, for the eggs, I went all over. I even went to another town for those little pastel speckled eggs they always have at the Dollar Tree, and none of my Dollar Trees have them. They only have the gold ones. So somebody must have went around and bought up all the eggs, or they didn't get them in this year. So I had to be resourceful, and I found these egg garlands from the Dollar Tree, and these are covered with like glitter and sequins, which is not really what I wanted to do, but I think it'll work. And the colors are really cute. They are like pink, green, blues, really pretty pastel colors. So what I did was just put a little chunk of floral foam in the middle so I would have something to put the flower in and kind of fill up some of the space needed for the eggs, because it was kind of hard finding enough eggs at the Dollar Tree to fill the basket up because it's kind of large. So I got almost the perfect amount by using these garlands. I'm glad I got as many as I did, because as you can see, it is really loading up. Now these do have holes in them, so I'm just pulling them off the strings that they were on, but they're not real noticeable holes. I didn't really want to get any of the eggs that you could break apart. I wanted like a more complete egg like this. And I just pull all of those off the string. We're going to use every single one of these to fill up our little egg basket with Easter eggs. Now this is going to be the bottom for a little floral piece for Easter. And so I just kind of want these all scattered around. I tried to kind of alternate colors and stuff like that to, make it look a little bit random in there, the basket full of Easter eggs. And then to fill it, we're going to be using some of the baby breath from the Dollar Tree. And I ended up using a total of 4 sprigs of the baby's breath. I know my camera is not focusing well. I had so many camera difficulties getting this video done. I had to completely remake some DIYs. I had to go get new firmware for my camera, get a new SD card. This video was definitely a challenge, but I finally got it done. But this one is a little bit blurry because I messed with my camera settings so much, I don't think my focus was quite where it should have been. But as you can see, I am just cutting off the baby's breath. I decided to leave the leaves on mine to kind of cover up the foam block and anything that I really don't want to see here in the middle. And I'm just cutting them off with a couple inches of stem where I can put it down into the foam block and just kind of randomly scattering it all around. I want to kind of cover the entire top of the egg basket with these. And probably the most challenging part on these was just getting that tag off. For some reason, they were very sticky, but I'm glad I got more of the baby's breath than I thought I was going to use because it definitely took a lot. And I really like the neutral white and the really tiny flowers to combine with the Easter eggs. I think it looked so cute. So that is how far 3 packages got me, but I wanted it to be a little bit fuller. So this is the 4th package of baby's breath or bundle, and I just cut those out and kind of fill it in a little bit more. You really can't go too full with this. And I'm glad I used the foam piece down in the middle because that definitely made arranging this so much easier. And that is basically all there is to it. We have our little Easter egg basket with baby's breath on top. I think this is so cute. It will look great with all decor styles, and how Eastery is that? I absolutely love it. It's so fun. I picked up one of these little baskets in the mint green color too. I thought that would be cute to do maybe a coastal DIY or something like this. But here you go. You can get a way better view of how this turned out with a baby's breath on top, filled with all the pastel Easter eggs in that cute little basket. I absolutely love those. I think they're so cute. And I actually kind of like those Easter eggs, even though I kind of wanted the pastel speckled ones. I think that would look really cute too. Okay, for the next DIY, I actually had to go to Walmart to get the Easter ears. They were $2.86, I think, there. The reason why is because I needed bigger ones. These are the ones that I got at Dollar Tree. As you can see, the ones from Walmart were twice as big because I needed some big bunny ears, and I didn't necessarily want to make them. So thank you to Walmart for having the giant bunny ears. Then I picked up some of these little laser cut Easter words from the Dollar Tree. And I picked up one of their wood rounds. This one was from the Dollar Tree Plus. So it is a nice chunky wood round, really good for $3. And I want to make a really beautiful wall hanging with this. You could also use this for your entryway for your front door. It'd be really cute. I'm going to measure this. It's about an 11-inch wood round, about halfway through there so that I can use some painter's tape. And what I want to do is do a wood round where half of the wood round is painted white and half of it is stained because this is such a beautiful wood. I love these signs from Dollar Tree Plus. It's nice to kind of have a higher end option on the wood round. Now for the bottom half, we're going to be using Antique Wax by Waverly. So I just put my painter's tape down and we're just going to go over it with one coat of this, and it really stained this wood so beautiful. The wood grain on there is really nice, and we're going to do the top part in white. So I just did one layer all over, kind of doing the sides too, trying to make sure everything had a little bit of stain on it. I wiped off the excess stain with a paper towel. Trying to avoid getting any on the top if I can. And you can see how beautifully that's stained. Now, it was a little bit darker than I like, so then I went over it with a baby wipe to kind of take off a little bit more of the stain and kind of soften the color up a little bit, and I like that a little bit better. Super easy way to stain, and it dries really quickly. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the tape and kind of make sure that the stain is really dry right here at the top so that I can put some painter's tape on there to kind of tape off the other way so we can do the top half of the bunny sign in white. This turned out so nice and so high end. I think I could probably even sell this if I wanted to, but I love it for my Easter decor. So for the top part, we're just going to use white acrylic and just go over the whole thing. I want to be doing a happy Easter sign, but I want it to look like a bunny head. That is why I got the giant bunny ears from Walmart. So I just went over with a nice coat of white, giving that a good dry. I did go over the edges a little bit here. It needed a little bit more. And I am going to have to go over it with like another coat because I want to make sure that it is a bright white at the top and none of the wood kind of shows through. I really want like the colors to pop against this. And I'm going to be using like all wood lettering from the Dollar Tree to do the sign. So for the Easter, I found this great little cursive Easter. I actually found this in the Crafter Square, not in the Easter section, but a great way to do a sign like this. I would like it to be a tiny bit larger, but I think it will work. I just painted mine white using a toothpick because I kind of got a little bit too much paint on that. And I want that to be nice and white to pop against that like stained wood background. So I did go over it with a couple of coats of white to make sure it is super white. And just touching up the top of that too to make sure that it is very white. And then I'm just going to kind of make sure that it's dry, especially like where my painter's tape is, so I can go ahead and peel that up. Now this painter's tape did great. I got no bleeding whatsoever except for the very edges where there's that, decorative edge. So I'm just going to use a baby wipe to kind of remove any excess paint there. And we're going to do the little Easter right down here, happy at the top. So I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue, a little bit like on every letter, but not too much. I don't want it seeping out. And we're just going to glue the Easter to the stained wood part down here. I love how that wood looks. Then for happy, I'm going to be using some of the Dollar Tree wood letters. I actually had the letters for happy, which is great. I've been kind of having trouble finding these wood letters lately. I need to stock up again. I want it to be a soft pink, so I'm just using my pastel pink Posca paint pen to paint these. And you know what? This was a really easy way to paint these wood letters. I don't know if I've ever tried using a paint pen on them before, but look how easy and well that worked and very little cleanup. So we're going to have it just say Happy Easter, and I want it to look like a bunny head. So then we're going to have the little bunny ears coming out of the top. Actually, big bunny ears. It's turned out so fun. And so I got those painted. They dried really quickly with the paint pen too, so that speeded things up. I'm going to have a P right in the very center. I'm not going to measure anything. I'm just going to kind of eyeball everything and just do a little bit of hot glue here on the back of my P. That Ryobi hot glue gun likes to spit out a lot of hot glue. I probably should have used one of my other hot glue guns because it was difficult to get just a little bit of hot glue on the back of these, but we're going to make it work. So once I got the P centered, I did the H and the A on the right and the P and the Y on the other side, kind of spacing it out evenly. And I love that I chose to use pink. I was going to do something different with that, but I can't have too much pink this year for spring. It is definitely my color this year. So these are the ears that we bought from Walmart, and I'm just going to have to find a way to detach them from the headband. Now, they were wired really nicely with a thick wire, which kind of made cutting that more challenging. So I'm using like my heavy duty like KitchenAid scissors, but once I got to the wire, I kind of had to switch it up to my Floral wire cutters from Dollar Tree to get through the wire because my KitchenAid scissors couldn't quite do it. So I just kind of kept switching up the scissors until I was able to disconnect both of them. And I got them off pretty good and intact. Now it's just a matter of attaching the bunny ears to the back. So we're just going to flip over the sign, kind of make sure everything stays in there, the wire and everything like that. And I'm just going to use my staple gun. This is a nice thick sign, so using a staple gun on this is no problem whatsoever. And staple that to the back. And then kind of do the other bunny ear coming from the other side. The great thing about these is that they're wired, so I can bend one of the little ears to make it look super cute and show lots of personality for a little Easter bunny sign. And I think that looks really cute. Look at that. Happy Easter with the bunny ears, the giant bunny ears. I'm going to kind of fold that one over a little bit, leave this one straight. I think that's super cute. And I want to make sure they stay really in place. So I kind of stapled mine a lot to make sure they're actually kind of like as one piece with the sign itself, and that they're not going to go anywhere. And this is how it turned out. Our little happy Easter sign. I had an idea for this one, and I'm so glad I was able to pull it off. I usually don't shop at Walmart, but I had to go there to buy a new SD card for my camera that could have been corrupt, causing all my camera difficulties. And this one, I'm glad I went to Walmart because I found those really cute little bunny ears to do the happy Easter sign. Isn't it so cute? It's very simple, but I think it definitely gets the job done. Hey guys, if you would like to join my Facebook group, I do have it linked in the description below. I'm also really active on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube. And any interaction over on Facebook really helps because I do get a bonus over on there. Now back to the DIYs. I found one of the little chunky bunnies from my Dollar Tree. Aren't these so cute? I got the bunny, I got the eggs, I got the chicks. I love them. And I designed a great little floral printable, and I will share a link to the free printable below for you. As you can see, it's a very cute little pastel flower scene on a white background. And I just printed mine out on white cardstock, and we're going to cover the bunny with it. This was such an easy way to decorate these little chunky bunnies, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking me how to decorate these because I posted that I found these on Facebook. So I just use a pencil, and we're going to sketch out the cardstock on the back on our great floral background. If you had a floral like scrapbook paper that you liked, that would work well too. But again, I will include the link to the free printable so you can recreate this cutie. So as you can see, the shape is definitely not that intricate. It's just a matter of cutting that down to size. I'm trying to cut like right on the line so I don't really have any wood showing in the final product. Even though it is a nice wood on the bunny, I love it covered with the floral print. It just really made this piece is so easy to do, but it turned out so beautiful. So just kind of taking my time, cutting this out, trying to make sure I don't mess up so I don't have to do it again. And that looks pretty good. So now we can attach that to the front of the little Chucky bunny. I've got like a couple of the chicks, and I picked up like 3 of the eggs. I have lots of fun ideas for these things. They're so nice for $1.25. So we're just going to simply Mod Podge the cardstock onto the front. And the reason that I use cardstock is because when you Mod Podge, it does not wrinkle hardly at all. So I'm doing a thin coat and all over the bunny, and then we can just lay that bunny that we cut out from the floral paper right on top. Isn't that so pretty? I love this design. And I'm just going to use a paper towel to make sure it's good and down. I don't want any bubbling or anything like that. And kind of let that start to dry and kind of clean up any Mod Podge that might have seeped out on the edges of our cute little bunny. Such an easy DIY, and it just turned out so pretty. I was able to do a pretty good job cutting it down. There was only one little area here that I had a little bit of paper overhanging, so I'm just using a sanding block from the Dollar Tree to kind of clean that up a little bit. And then once I have it on there, it's starting to dry, I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge the top of it. That's another thing. You don't really have to wait for it totally to dry when you're using cardstock. And so I just did another thin coat over the top of it to seal the project and make it, not just look like it is covered with paper, and make it a little bit more durable. Then I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree twine, cut a piece of that. We're just going to simply wrap that around the little bunny head here and tie that off. We're just going to do like a simple little bow. I kind of want it to be kind of over to the side a little bit like that. Nothing crazy, but just so classic and cute. And so I just tie that bow off, kind of trimming the tails. My tails kind of wanted to stand straight up, so I just trimmed them down short so that they wouldn't really stand out too much. And I just love how this cute little guy turned out. There it is. That's a way that you can decorate those little chunky Easter decorations from the Dollar Tree this year. And I always love it when the Dollar Tree has a new craft product for a season. This is how it turned out with that beautiful floral design on the white background. I think he is precious and would look great with any Easter decor. I told you I was really into flowers this year. Isn't he sweet? He's actually like fairly big. I'm trying to guess, maybe like 8 inches or so. Now for the next DIY, I wanted to do Easter egg candle holders. So I picked up some of the flocked Easter egg garland from the Dollar Tree Plus for $3 because I really liked those flocked Easter eggs. And some of these little wreath charms from the Dollar Tree. I thought these would be great bases for my candle holder because we're going to be building a candle holder from scratch. So I couldn't find two that were the same, but they both had white sides. This one, the yellow from the design, kind of went over onto the sides a little bit. So I'm just going to touch that up with a white paint pen so that you won't be able to see that. Then to cover the top of the bases, I designed this great Easter kind of floral background. It's got like chickens and bunnies and cute stuff like that on there. And I love the pastel colors. So I printed that out on cardstock, and I will share that free printable with you as well. I'm just filling the ornament holes in the little charms with a little bit of spackle so I won't have like a hole in those. But the cardstock is nice and thick, so I don't really have to do anything to that. We're just going to cover the butterfly and the bee on those with this great pattern that I designed. And I am using just a pencil, just flipping it over, and we can just sketch out 2 circles to cover the top of these, and we'll just leave the sides of them white. And these are going to be the bases for the candle holder. So I want to use those flocked Easter eggs from that egg garland to create this because I really wanted a high-end Easter egg, and those were the nicest Easter eggs that I could find at the Dollar Tree. Again, those were $3, but you get like 10 of those eggs. And so we're just cutting out the cardstock. And again, I use cardstock because it Mod Podges really well, but you could use paper if you wanted to print out this really cute design. And I will include a link to this printable in the description below this video as well. So we're just going to Mod Podge these to the top. So I just do a thin coat of Mod Podge over this, making sure I get the entire little wreath charm. And you could do like the chunky wood circles from the Dollar Tree too. It's going to give you a heavier duty base. I didn't have any of those and I couldn't find any. So I think these actually worked really well, even though they are a little bit thinner. But it actually turned out to a really stable candle holder because I want to be able to burn these candles. So I want it to be nice and stable. And these actually worked really well. So we're just going to Mod Podge both of those little circles that we cut out of that paper right onto the bases. I'm just using my heat gun to kind of speed that up, help it dry a little bit, and then we're going to seal these to make them a little bit more durable. I wanted to make 2 candle holders that I could use like on my kitchen table for Easter, kind of a matching set. And so I want them to be nice and durable. So just giving those a quick dry, and we have 2 bases for the candle holders. I was really not sure if I was going to be able to pull this off, but I actually did, and they turned out so cute. I've never made like a candle holder from scratch like this before. I guess I've made more simple ones, but this one's kind of definitely more intricate. So I'm going to use a sanding block here just to kind of get any excess paper off the edges, and then we're going to measure these. You can see they're about 4 inches wide. I just kind of need to know where the center is, and I'm just going to kind of sketch out the center with a pencil because I want to drill a hole in these to be able to put the wood dowel down inside. So just using my drill bit and my drill, I am just going to drill a hole in these. Whatever these are made out of, they kind of like really make a mess. It's probably like some kind of pressed wood, I guess. And so I just drill a hole into the center. I actually went all the way through on mine to make it nice and stable. because I need a hole for the wood dowel. You could also use the skewers, I think, from the Dollar Tree, but I wanted it to be as stable as I could make it. So I'm going to use some of the really thin wood dowels that I found at Dollar Tree, but I know sometimes these can be a little tricky to find. So that looks good. These are the dowels that I'm using. I wanted something as thick as I could get, but something that would fit through the hole that's already drilled through those eggs to make that wood bead garland. So we're just going to try these on for size. And I think I did a really good job. One of them was a little bit looser, but we're going to glue these in anyway with hot glue. So that should stabilize that. So put a little hot glue down in the hole that we drilled and just putting the wood down inside. I'm just leaving these the length that they are because I can always cut them down because I don't know exactly how long I'm going to need them to be. But that is the base right there for our candlesticks. Now, I love these flocked eggs. You know, they have like the large flocked eggs for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree, so keep your eye out for those. I've been trying to stock up on those because I love them. But these are small ones, and so I thought this would be the best way to get these. They have a hole inside, and so I just put my egg on there, like the skinnier side of the egg up, and slide that right down. There's already a hole inside of them, so that makes it a little bit easier. And I don't really have any green on the base of the candle holder, so I think I'm just going to use pink, yellow, and blue. That's going to kind of coordinate more. Now be very careful because I kind of messed up this blue egg. I kind of got stuck, and as you can see, it kind of wanted to break it. Actually, it did break it, but I was able to kind of push it back down in there and make it salvageable, but I didn't have an extra one of the blue eggs, of course. That was the one that it happened to. But I was able to make it work. So I'm just trying to repair any damage. So be very careful if you're using these exact eggs to very gently push it down and make sure you're getting the dowel to come out in the same hole that's drilled on the top. So we did pink, blue, and yellow for that one. Again, we're skipping green just because it didn't coordinate well with that paper I designed. And then we're going to do pink, blue, and yellow on the other side. I went back and forth whether I should change up the order of the colors or if I should have the same exact pattern. I ended up doing the same exact pattern because I'm going to have it on a table together, and I thought it would actually look better to make them match, but you can do whatever pattern you want if you're doing this project. And I decided let's do the same thing. So we're going to do pink first. I just carefully put that on my wood dowel and carefully wiggle that through the foam egg because it's just foam right underneath the flocked surface. But these eggs are so pretty. I absolutely love them. And here is our final yellow egg. I think I've kind of got the hang of it now. So I've got them all on there. I didn't have to glue them or anything because they really fit with tension with that dowel coming through them. And we have 3 stacked Easter eggs. Now to cut the dowel off, I just used some heavy duty scissors and kind of broke it off. And then I kind of went back and tried to trim it up as much as I could. It was kind of hard to cut it at this point. But I don't really want too much of that wood sticking up because I don't want it to interfere with attaching our candle holders to the top. Now, since I'm going to attach clear glass candle holders to the top, I don't really want you to see the foam and the wood, so I just used a little yellow acrylic paint to touch up the top of my eggs. But this is what we have so far with our little egg candlesticks. Super cute. I'm kind of glad I did the same pattern. I'm kind of glad they match. Now for the top of the candle holder, we're going to use these little candle holders from the Dollar Tree. You get 4 of these for $1.25, and we're going to use these. They hold the tea light candles. I didn't want anything too big and heavy to go on the top of this, and I think these are going to work well. It's just a matter of finding a way to attach it to it and make it strong so that we can actually put candles in there. Now, hot glue and glass, doesn't work great, so we're going to use super glue. I picked up some super glue from the Dollar Tree. And I'm actually going to kind of assemble these upside down because the glass part is the heaviest part of the piece. And I want to make this stable, and getting this to dry is going to be a little bit challenging. So I put a little super glue right in the bottom and flipped my candlestick upside down, holding that onto the glass candle holder. And I did hold it for a while to let that start to harden up. Super glue is a little bit faster than like E6000 and stuff like that, but you still have to really kind of use some patience on that. We're going to do this same thing here with the other candle holder, doing a nice healthy drop of super glue right in the middle and laying our little felt egg right here on top. And again, I held that one for a while to start setting up. And as you can see, my other candle holder is starting to lean a little bit, so it's not completely set up yet, so be careful. I was able to catch mine and kind of straighten it out a little bit. Now, again, the super glue is going to need some time to dry, so I'm going to go in with some hot glue around the edges. This is any excess hot glue is going to go against the bottom of the glass candle holder, and it's a little hard to see right now, I know, from this angle, but I just kind of went around the edges of it with some hot glue just to kind of hold it in place like this, just so it can kind of finish drying and actually also cause, you know, more stability. We can't do with too much glue here because we want to make these candlesticks nice and strong. So I let these dry, and this is how they turned out. We have 2 Easter egg candle holders with the stacked Easter eggs. I absolutely love them. I'm so glad I chose to use the flocked Easter eggs just because they look so nice. I love that look of the flocked look. And I'm just making sure they are as straight as possible and super sturdy and that everything is staying in place. I love how these turned out. Let me show you how they look. Super cute little Easter candlesticks, very custom. And we can just use tea light candles for the top of them. So I'm going to go ahead and pop 2 of the Dollar Tree tea lights right in top. And that way we can actually burn real candles on these. And I just love how they turned out. Here's a little sneak peek, and I'll show you how they look lit up as well. Our little custom Easter egg candle holders. You can see that beautiful flocked surface of those Easter eggs. The Dollar Tree Plus really has beautiful Easter decorations this year. And this is the first year that I've had Dollar Tree Pluses in my area for Easter, so I was really thrilled to find these eggs. Super cute and fun. And let me show you how they look lit up. And I think these are going to be great for my Easter table this year. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about memberships. For $4.99 a month, you can get early ad-free access to my videos here on YouTube. And it's a quick, easy way for you to support me here on YouTube. And all you have to do is hit the join button under today's video. Now, check out this cute little fuzzy bunny sign I found at Dollar Tree today. I love the bunny. I don't necessarily love the sign that much, so we're going to kind of take that bunny head and make our own little spring sign. I'm going to use one of these signs I got on clearance at Target Dollar Spot, but Dollar Tree has the very similar sign, same size. It's about the same sheet as a sheet of paper. And then I want to cover it with a floral design. So I found these great bandanas at Dollar Tree today. Look at this beautiful floral print. I thought this would make a great background for the sign, and we can make a cute little bunny head Easter sign. So it's just a matter of covering up what's on the sign. I was going to paint it white, but then I decided, you know, since it's about the same size as a sheet of paper, I could just use a piece of white cardstock. Just trimming it down a little bit, and that would be an easy way to cover it because we're going to be Mod Podging to it anyway to attach the bandana to the top of it. But you could totally paint it. So I'm just going to do a coat of Mod Podge all over the sign. And I picked these up for like, I don't know, less than $1. So these were a great deal and a fun sign that I can kind of remake. I like the little frame on there. So I just glued the cardstock down, nothing crazy, and then it's just a matter of cutting out this floral pattern. I'm cutting off the green border on the side. And so I can kind of have 2 square edges here where I can kind of lay those up here, cut it long enough that it's going to cover the sign. And I kind of used my sign for reference on this. I'm not going to need like exact cuts on this because I'm going to kind of trim out the edges. So I just use an ink pen to kind of draw where the bottom of the frame is and kind of sketch out where the other side is here. So I can just trim that down. Nothing super accurate with fabric. It's hard to get really accurate when you're covering something with fabric, but we're going to get as close as we can. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out that rectangle. And I really love this bandana. I thought this was a really pretty print. Now I am going to iron mine just because it's a little wrinkled there, just to make sure that I get all that wrinkle out before I attach that to the back of the sign. So I have a nice flat piece of fabric. I just use my Cricut Easy Press for that. And then I just a matter of, I don't want it to overlap the edges, so I'm just trying to make sure that I have good coverage. I don't care if I see a little white around the edges because again, we're going to trim it out. But I don't really want any of the fabric like overhanging the edges. So I am going to have to trim it up here and there to make sure that it is fitting properly. And then we can just Mod Podge this down. I'm going to do a rather thick layer of Mod Podge on top of that cardstock that we put down. And just so it can really grab that fabric and make it stick. I'm not going to use any Mod Podge on top. So then it's just a matter of laying the fabric down. You have wiggle room and playtime to kind of move your fabric around and kind of get it exactly where you need it to be. And I want it straight and flat on there. I don't want any bubbles or anything like that. So again, I'm just going to use a paper towel, kind of go all over this, kind of make sure it is all glued down. There's not going to be any bubbling or anything. And then I'm going to actually kind of frame it out with a little bit of trim so you won't be able to see like the white edges, just to kind of make it look a little bit more finished. And I'm going to use some of the burlap trim from the Dollar Tree. I just wanted something that was going to kind of match the wood frame on there and not really take away from like the bright floral print and our cute little bunny head with a pink on there. So I love these floral trims. They come like in a 3-pack like this. So you don't get very much of an individual piece like this. So it is going to take me a couple packages to cover this because I think this was kind of a partial piece. And as you can see, like gluing that on, it's going to give me the perfect edges here. I'm also going to go around the top too, even though there is a frame on the top and the bottom, just because my cut was definitely not perfect. Hot gluing that on, kind of doing the flatter edge of this ribbon towards the outside to frame it out. And I think that's really cute. I love using this burlap trim. I am going to have to open another package so I can match that same print. And we just have the top left to frame out. And I think this is going to be a really beautiful floral background for that little fuzzy bunny Easter head. Now, these Dollar Tree signs are getting a little bit thicker, but you know what? They're still pretty easy to cut. So I'm just going to remove the hanger on the back. Those are pretty easy to remove. And then I want to remove this. I'm going to go ahead and try to salvage the bow. So I use a little bit of heat, try to melt the hot glue, and we can save that cute little pink gingham bow. And then it's just a matter of cutting his head off. Now I couldn't really see from the back. I'm going to decapitate this cute little bunny. So I'm actually going to do it from the front. And I'm just going to use a razor blade, kind of pushing that down. You have to do a couple cuts to get through it. But as you can see, it's really easy to cut these signs. You don't have to use a saw or anything like that. A straight blade will definitely get the job done. So I just cut it twice and then just bended it until it broke off. Easy peasy. And now we have a cute little fluffy bunny head. I love him. He's so cute. I've never seen this guy at the Dollar Tree before either, so he must be new. And he fits perfectly on this sign. This is a great floral background. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue him down. And hot glue him directly to the fabric, making sure there's no bowing, none of it's like sticking out, everything is good and flat. And that background is pretty busy, but I kind of like it. I think it's really bright and fun for spring. Now I saved the little pink gingham bow, so I was thinking I could reuse it right here like underneath of him, like where it was before. I thought that would be really cute. And so I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue that to the sign. Might as well use it since I have it. And it provided another little fun 3D detail to our little Easter bunny sign. Isn't he so cute? And I love that the bunny was already covered with fur. So I have another little fluffy bunny to add to my Easter decor. This is how he turned out. I think he's super sweet. I love the fact that he doesn't have any glitter or anything on him. A lot of times those Dollar Tree signs can be really blinged out. And I think he turned out really cute. What do you guys think? Okay, for our next DIY, I'm going to take a little bunny sign from the Dollar Tree and some of their faux turf. Now, I got this faux turf at Dollar Tree Plus for $5. I'm hearing from the Dollar Tree employees that this stuff is super in demand. I got mine a couple of weeks ago when I first saw it, and I've never seen it again since. And I want to save most of it for my table decor because it's so cute. But I'm going to use some of it to cover this bunny because I wanted to do a version of this little wood bunny that kind of looks like a wreath. Like greenery with flowers and stuff like that. So I'm just going to pop off the little bunny tail just because it was kind of sticking out and I didn't really want to have that get in the way. But we're going to cover the rest of this bunny with this turf. Now, there's other ways you could do this, and I had to make this DIY twice because of my camera issues. And so I'll show you the other way that I made it using Dollar Tree moss after I get done with this DIY. So I just actually sketch out the actual bunny shape on the back of the turf. It's got like a rug kind of backing, and I just Sharpie all the way around so I can cut this out. It's kind of got like a black plastic coating like underneath the turf. But how cool is this? The minute I saw this, I picked up a roll of it, and now I kind of wish I would have got more than one roll because it's so fun for Easter decor. I love using any kind of grass that I can use, anything that's going to look cute with like little Easter eggs and stuff like that down inside. So I'm just going to trim this out. It was actually pretty easy to cut, but as you can see, it like is very messy because you're going to be cutting off grass as you're going. So definitely be prepared for that if you're going to cut some of this turf. But I think this is going to be so cute. I just wanted like a bunny covered in greenery that we can also cover in spring flowers. So just cutting that shape out. Again, the bunny shape is usually not too intricate. And that was actually pretty easy to do. It's just a matter of cleaning up all of that mess. And here is our little bunny. I'm not going to worry about the little wood bump outs for the ears. I don't think they're really going to get in the way. And just laying that out, making sure I cut the bunny down to size. It's going to cover up any of the wood. And you can kind of see like the black plastic around the edges a little bit. So I was kind of trying to flatten mine out a little bit to try to cover that up. And as you can see, it does shed like a little bit. But really cool find for Dollar Tree. The next year they need to order more. I wasn't super impressed with the fact that you could see that black plastic around the edges. So I thought I could go in and kind of trim that up a little bit closer to it to try to avoid seeing it. But you know what? You can still kind of see it even after trimming it up. So I kind of make it work. But I was trying to minimize the amount of plastic that was kind of sticking out there along the edges. Maybe if you cut it like a little bit more at an angle, you'll get less plastic around the edges and more just like straight turf. So I just trimmed mine down a little bit more until I was happy with it. The problem with that though is that now you can see a little bit of the wood sign back there and you can still kind of see some of the black. So I thought about kind of using more turf to fill that in, but I think it's close enough that we can make it work. I had made this project already, and so I have two of these little bunnies. I'm going to have to gift one with moss, and so I did not have any more moss left to remake the project, so I decided to try to use the turf, and I'm glad I did because it turned out really good. So I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue the bunny cut out of turf onto the wood bunny sign. Just like that. And I did want to kind of mask the fact that you could see the wood around the side. So I'm going to have to kind of touch that up a little bit. And I'm trying to trim off any of the plastic, the black plastic that might be a little bit over the edges. Just trying to trim it up as best as I can. Isn't that so cute? We have a little grass bunny, perfect for decorating. Now, since I can already see the black plastic, I thought about painting it green around the edges, but I decided to kind of go with the black because that's going to kind of make it kind of blend in. So I just went around the edges of my wood bunny where you could see my visible wood with my black paint pen. And that totally kind of made that kind of disappear into the black turf. And so that was a quick, easy way to fix that. So I just went all the way around with my black paint pen, and any edges that you can see, I just kind of touched those up. And what we're going to be covering this with is just Dollar Tree flowers. I found some really cute little tiny flowers in spring colors, and I thought we could have little flowers like growing out of the grass. But for the bunny tail, I wanted to use something fun and fluffy like a bunny tail. So I'm going to use one of the pink carnations from the Dollar Tree. I thought that'd make a perfect little bunny tail. So I'm just going to attach it right about here where I think it would work. I left the stem on it, and I just put a little hot glue on the stem and glue that down into my faux turf for a cute little bunny tail. And then I want to use these smaller flowers to kind of decorate it. These were the smallest flowers I could find at Dollar Tree. These are like the hot pink baby's breath. Now, they don't pull off. You have to actually cut the stems on these to get little flowers. And so I just cut the stems off, maybe like a ½ inch. I didn't want it too long. And I just put a little hot glue on the tip of those flowers and pushed it down into the grass so we can make it look like a yard full of wildflowers. And I want it to be super colorful and fun. So I kind of did that hotter pink color all around, kind of scattered those out. Now these are the spike. These have little white flowers that you can actually pull off. So I pulled those off and just hot glued those around too. I want to do like pinks and whites and yellows. I think that'd be really pretty. This is kind of a softer yellow. This is it's called Tweedia from Dollar Tree. And they have like two different flowers. They have this one that's got like 6 petals. They also have a smaller one. I'm going to use some of the smaller ones here as well too. Right here at the top, that one only has like 4 petals. And kind of just scatter those around evenly as well. And this is the soft pink baby's breath. Just a little bit different color than the first one that we used. And so I'm going to add a little bit of the soft pink in there as well. Kind of making sure all the areas of the bunny is covered with little flowers. And so I don't really want like too many open spaces of green. So I just kind of keep adding flowers until I'm happy with it. It's so cute. I think I like this one with the turf a little bit better than the first bunny that I made. Because again, I spent hours trying to save that video file to show you guys that DIY. And it was not salvageable even with my expensive software. So I had to just make it again, but you know what? I really kind of like how it turned out. What do you guys think about our little wildflower Easter bunny made out of grass? I think it's super fun. Let me show you the one that I made out of moss. So this one I just glued Dollar Tree floral moss all over. I think it's still super cute. And that is an option that you can do if you can't find the turf. But I kind of like the brighter green color of the turf if you can find it. So I guess I'll have to gift one of these because now I kind of have twinsies. But this is how mine turned out with the grass. The little Easter grass bunny with all of the beautiful spring flowers all around. And, you know, I live in Florida, so spring is not like quite as exciting as it is up north. I used to live in Missouri and in Pennsylvania, so I still remember the joy of spring. But we still like to celebrate it. Now for the next DIY, I designed this free printable pea cottontail egg decorating company, and I will include a link to the free printable below. I printed mine out on cardstock, and we're just going to combine that with a Dollar Tree sign for a quick, easy Easter sign for the holiday. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the hanger on mine. just because I'm going to make mine a standing sign. I like to save these hangers if I can, and they're not always put on in a centered location, so a lot of times you can't use them. But this is just a Dollar Tree sign. It's about the same size as a piece of paper, and my camera did not want to focus, but this is pink polish, acrylic paint. I'm just going to paint the frame the pink color to brighten it up because I thought it was just a little dark and drab. And then we can do the free printable on the sign. I love these signs from the Dollar Tree just because they're so easy to DIY with just printing out a piece of cardstock. So I just went over the top of the frame with some of that pink polish. I do want some of the wood to show through, but I definitely want to brighten it up and make it look more fun for Easter. So as you can see, it really kind of soaked that paint up. So I do go over it with a second coat to make it a little bit brighter pink. I don't have to worry about being too careful with painting because the back of it is going to be covered up with the cardstock printable that I designed. So I think that looks pretty good. Now for the paper, I do need to trim it ever so slightly. That Dollar Tree frame is a little bit smaller than it, so I'm going to use my little Cricut paper cutter and just slightly cut off the edges and cut some off vertically as well. I think that's going to fit. And make sure you get your frame really good and dry. You don't want to get any paint on your printable. And I love this design. I think it's so cute. I created that little Peter Cottontail design with AI and then made the sign to go with it. I think it's so fun. I do have that image itself for sale over on my Etsy shop, Crafty Beach on YouTube, if you just want the bunny, but I am going to share the free printable for you if you want to do this exact DIY in the description below this video. So I'm going to do a nice thick coat of Mod Podge all over the back of my sign. And then we can lay that little pea cottontail and printable right on top. Again, I use the cardstock because you don't get hardly any wrinkling when you Mod Podge this onto items. And it's just such an easy way to make your own little custom art piece for Easter. And I just made sure mine was nice and flat using a paper towel to kind of smooth it out and get any excess glue that may have seeped out. I'm going to go ahead and dry mine too. I was trying to make sure that my ink was good and dry because you can get a little bit of bleeding if you do seal over the top with a Mod Podge. So I'm trying to do like just a thin coat of Mod Podge over the top just to make the piece a little bit more durable and seal it. But I don't really want like all of that black to bleed. I noticed black likes to bleed a little bit from my printer. So I just went over with a very thin coat. That's going to kind of give it like a canvas finish. But if you don't mind the paper on top, you could just leave it like that. I just don't want anything to get on it and discolor it. So that's why I wanted to seal mine with more Mod Podge. Easy peasy. Now I want to make mine a sign that stands up on its own. So I'm actually going to have to kind of make a stand for it. I used just a little block I got at Five Below. These are the little Jenga blocks. I pick these up every spring at Five Below. They are such a great way to get these large Jenga blocks for crafting. And I just hot glue that to the bottom, making sure not to go all the way to the bottom so it leans back ever so slightly so it will stand up properly. And now I have a little standing Easter sign. This is how it turned out, our little pea cottontail egg decorating company. How adorable is that image? I absolutely love it. And again, all the free printables will be in the description below. I'll try to link them all to the description of the DIYs. Isn't this so cute for Easter? I just love it. Okay, guys, coming up next, I'm going to decorate my coffee bar for Easter. I had so much fun putting these together. I have 13 DIYs and finds from the Dollar Tree. I think it turned out really cute. My theme was like flocked and pastel. And we're going to get started with a cute little watercolor DIY. I designed this little watercolor Easter bunny, and I will include a link to the free printable in the description below this video. And for this sign, I'm going to use the sign I got at Target Dollar Spot. I got it on clearance there, but Dollar Tree has the same sign, same size. This one just kind of got ridges in it, and which I don't really want, so I'm going to have to kind of cover those up. Mine was a little splintery, so I'm going to give like the frame a quick sanding. And we're going to use that cardstock for the back of the image. And it's just a quick, easy way to make a Dollar Tree sign that looks really, really good. So I'm going to do 2 sheets of cardstock instead of just one. That way my cardstock won't go down into the ridges on the back on that one. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim them down. These little signs from the Dollar Tree and the Dollar Spot are almost exactly the same as a sheet of paper, but slightly smaller. So I'm just going to use my paper cutter to trim these down just a little bit until they fit perfectly. I'm going to go ahead then and just Mod Podge these in. I'm going to have to do 1 piece of cardstock at a time. And I'm going to kind of dry them in between too. I want to make sure that none of the paper gets too wet, because that's when it really starts to wrinkle when you're using Mod Podge. But I do want to make sure I get a nice coat down so it is good and stuck down. I like to take a dry paper towel, kind of push that down, make sure there's no bubbles. That also can dry up any glue that may have squeezed out the edges. And I had so much trouble making this video for you today. I actually had to do this DIY twice because my camera was deleting everything, stopping and deleting everything again. So I actually had to go to Best Buy and buy a whole new camera. So hopefully it works well for the first half of this video today. I wanted to get another video in before I go on vacation with my son. We are going to San Francisco for spring break, and I'm so excited. So I just put another coat of Mod Podge on top of the cardstock that I had there, and then just laid my little image of the Easter Bunny on top. I think he's so cute, and I really love this image. I might have to sell this image too, but I will include it for a free printable for my Crafty Beach Bum viewers. And then I like to go over the top of mine with a very thin coat just to seal it, make sure that, I don't get anything on it. And it kind of gives it kind of like a canvas coat, but again, I don't want to get the cardstock too wet, so just doing a very thin coat of the Mod Podge all over. And we have a beautiful little Easter sign. I'm going to lean mine on my coffee bar against the wall. And so I don't really need a hanger or anything like that, but let me show you how it looks on my coffee bar. I'm actually going to be doing 2 coffee bars today. I have a previous one that I did, so I thought I would include that in this video too to give you lots of Easter DIY inspiration. Isn't he so cute? I just love that face. And so that is the bottom shelf of my coffee bar. We're going to get started with that. And for the next DIY, I picked up one of these little Easter signs from the Dollar Tree, and I love these little metal stands. I'm going to use that to make it a standing sign to go on the shelf of my coffee bar. So this is a hanging sign, but we're just going to kind of make it a standing sign. I love this. I think it's so cool with all of the wood beads already on there. The color I'm going to use is Cloudless by Apple Barrel. It's just a very soft blue. And what I was going for on this coffee bar was I wanted to do pastel colors, and I wanted to use a lot of like flocked items. I think that's going to look really cute for Easter this year. So I'm just going over like the inside between all the wood beads first, and it's kind of impossible not to get some on the Easter Bunny. So we might as well make him blue right now anyway. And then I'm going to go around and do the outer edges too. I kind of have to do all of the wood beads and go in between them as well. Just pretty much making everything blue in this case. And then I want to go in, make the bunny rabbit and the wood beads white, so they'll kind of pop out on that sign, and go with my little pastel color scheme. I was doing like light blues, light pinks, light yellows. And I love it. I think it looks so cute for Easter. I love pastels for Easter. So once I got that painted, now it's going to be, my outside edge looks a little bit bad where some of the paint came over. So you know what? I'm going to go and just paint the edges. I don't really have to do anything with the back on this, but I thought it would look a little bit cleaner if I went ahead and did the very edges all around the circle. But I love this sign. I think it looks really high end. Now, painting the little bump out pieces is always challenging. I started with like a little makeup sponge first, but I realized that it really was not saving me from getting any on the sign. So I switched to a little brush, and it's kind of inevitable. I just kind of try to clean it up with a baby wipe when I get some on the sign itself. And I'll have to go back in and touch it up with a little bit of blue paint. Normally I like to distress things, and so I don't really want to distress the back of this sign because I really want that blue and white to pop. So I'm just gonna have to touch it up. And I also have to cover up the blue that was on the bunny to really make that white pop against it. So it is gonna require just a couple coats to make sure I have good coverage here. He kind of has like a little swirl on him, which you could paint. I thought about going in with like a paint pen and kind of highlighting that, but I decided just to leave it all white. And then I just went in and touched up the blue anywhere where I kind of got paint where I shouldn't have. It's kind of impossible on those signs. And then I kind of want the white beads to pop, so I'm actually just going to distress them. So I'm just using like a chunky brush and some white in one direction, just catching the beads, not the background. And then I just reverse direction and distress the other way. It's going to be a very distressed paint job on the wood beads doing it that way, but I like the difference, the contrast. Now to make it a standing sign, all I have to do is attach this little Dollar Tree sign to the back. Now, normally I wouldn't like to use metal on, or hot glue with metal, and you can use a better glue, but this really only needs to stay up through Easter, and so I think it will be fine. So I just put a lot of hot glue on the back of it, set it on the back of the sign, just like that. And it does have a little hole for where the hanger was, so I did go back and just tie like a simple bow here out of some twine and put that on the very top. And this is how it turned out. I have plenty of content for you while I'm away, so hopefully these DIYs will keep you busy while we are out in California having so much fun. My college son and I are going to San Francisco. We're doing Monterey Bay. A lot of you guys gave me some great tips on YouTube and social media, places to go, and we are so excited. Hey guys, if you're enjoying today's video, be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's keep it up. Look at this great little bunny that I found at Dollar Tree Plus. I couldn't believe this was a Dollar Tree product. It was $5, a little sisal bunny. And you know what? These things are so difficult to make. I've made them here on my channel. I can't believe this is only $5. He's so cute. He's a little busy with this little Easter egg, so I'm going to remove that. I love the blue flower, and I love the little butterfly net in his hand. He is a little bit fragile. The Dollar Tree employees were saying that they were breaking in the store, so they were a little bit hard to find at my store, but I'm so glad I found one because I think he is absolutely adorable. And here he is on the coffee bar. I kind of put him next to that sign that we just DIY'd. And I think he's so cute. The little pastel blue flower in his hand. I didn't have to do anything to him. And you know what? I kind of avoid some of the Dollar Tree Plus stuff now that we actually have a Dollar Tree Plus because I'm like, there's nothing to DIY. But I did want to show him to you because I was going to include him on my coffee bar. I love these little chunky Easter signs they have this year. They have bunnies, they have eggs, and they have carrots. So I thought we could do something fun. This one only sits right one way, that way. And I thought we could cover it with pastel. I wanted pastel orange, so I designed like a pastel orange gingham print, and I will include a link to a printable if you want to recreate this. And I thought we would just cover the carrot with the light orange gingham, so it'll stay with the pastel theme. So I just put it on the back of the cardstock and just sketched it out. Now, I was trying to decide if I was going to cover just the carrot or the carrot and the greenery with it. And when I started, I just went ahead and sketched the whole thing out. It is a little bit of an intricate cut going around that greenery. And at first I was going to cut the whole thing out. And then I was thinking about it while I was cutting it out. And I'm like, you know what? I can just leave the greenery, that beautiful wood, and just cover the carrot part and the orange gingham. And that's what I ended up doing. So I went to start cutting it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? Let's just cut the carrot. And I'm glad that I did. You could cover the whole thing, but again, that part of the carrot wouldn't be orange anyway. So I thought about painting it too, but I kind of liked the look of the wood that's already on there. And I thought that would go well with my wood shelves above my coffee bar. So we're just going to do the carrot part, and I think that turned out really cute. If you don't have scrapbook paper, you can always create your own, and that's what I do when I create these printables and share them with you guys. I always like to print them on cardstock because they Mod Podge really well with no wrinkling. So we put a layer of Mod Podge down and lay the cardstock right on top. I did a pretty good job of cutting this to size, and I'm just going to use a paper towel to kind of smooth that out and start the drying process on that. If you don't get it on there just perfectly, or if your cut hangs over just a little bit, you can always just do a sanding block around the edges to give you a perfect cut. And then I'm going to seal it because I don't want it to get discolored or anything like that. So I just put a thin coat of Mod Podge over the top of it. And that is it. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I think that is perfect. And I think that's going to be a nice shorter piece that I can put on the front of my shelf of my coffee bar. So I kind of put that in front of the little watercolor bunny to fill out my bottom shelf of my coffee bar. I have 2 floating shelves that I have hanging on the wall above my coffee bar area that I DIY'd. I did that a couple of years ago. I do have a video. I took a dresser I think I got for $12 from Goodwill and created my own coffee bar in my house. I had not a lot of room for it, but I was able to pull it off. Now for the flocked items, I found this little chick for $1 at the Target dollar spot. They have them in different colors, like light mint green and stuff like that. I picked up a little yellow chick, and I thought this would be a really cute item to go right there in front of that bunny. And you know what? It's going to fill out the rest of my coffee bar shelf right there. I'm trying not to go too busy with this one, but I think he looks really cute. And we're going to have some other flocked items today, so I think he's going to fit right in. Isn't he adorable for $1? I mean, come on. I love it. And that's how he looks sitting there in front of my bunny. Now, I'm going to use some of the giant flocked eggs from the Dollar Tree. Can you believe these are only $1.25? I love them. They're ornaments, so they already have hangers on them. I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm actually going to use these to make a little garland to go along that shelf. And I always use odd numbers when I make garlands, but I have an odd number of coffee mugs hanging with it, and so I kind of needed to do even numbers. So we're going to do like a blue one on each end, a yellow and pink inside, and another blue one. And I just take a piece of twine and just simply put the hangers on it. Couldn't get any easier than that. We're going to have these dangled down from the shelf. And these are my coffee mugs. This is my Ray Dunn collection of Easter coffee mugs. I have 3 of them. So I'm going to have those hanging in between those little flocked eggs. I didn't want to cover them up because they're super cute on their own. So this is how it turned out. I just attach my twine with hot glue actually on my shelf itself there. Works out pretty well. I clean up the excess hot glue there from time to time. And then I have a bar there where I'm hanging my coffee mugs. They kind of are staggered in between each one of the little flocked eggs, and I love those eggs. I picked up quite a few of those because I'm a big fan. Now for the next shelf, I finally found the tulips from Dollar Tree, and I was so excited. These are pink tulips, and they're made out of like a fuzzy fabric, and they are so pretty. They are getting some Dollar Tree florals that are just like really high end. I was so impressed with those. And then I thought we would just DIY a little vase. And I picked up one of these clear glass vases from the Dollar Tree with all of the bumps all over it. And I'm going to use this. It's not quite white. It's sand dollar. It's a little off-white. I thought we could try to spray paint it. Spray painting glass is an easy way to spray paint glass. So I'm just going to put my box up, give it a quick spray. Even though there's all those bumps and ridges on there, I was really able to get away with like one coat. I'm going to spin it around a little bit though, so that I can get the other side here and spray it down. And it really makes it kind of look like a ceramic vase. It makes it look way more high end. And the wall behind my coffee bar is like a white shiplap removable wallpaper. And so this is going to kind of go in with that color scheme. I didn't want to go too colorful for this one because I had so much color on other projects for the coffee bar today. And I needed a little bit more on the top, so I did spray the top to make sure it was even. And then I just used my heat gun to dry it. Easy peasy. I'm in my garage, so I don't really like spray painting in my garage, but if necessary, I will do it just to put it in a box. And so it turned out pretty cool. What do you guys think? An easy way to DIY those Dollar Tree vases. And the flowers are perfect. I don't have to do anything to them. Even the greenery looks nice. I just put it right down inside the vase, and this is ready to go. I'm going to put this on the top shelf of my coffee bar. Beautiful pink tulips for Easter. I think they look so pretty and springy. And this is how they look up there. I'm going to pair them with a couple items to kind of do a little vignette up there, and I love how it turned out. It's so pretty. And you can really see the texture of that vase painted, and I really think spray painting is a lot easier. I know you can get glass paint and stuff like that, but it's a lot of work, and you saw how easy it was to spray paint it, so that's kind of my go-to method. Okay, I have another free printable for you guys I'll include down below. It says some bunny needs coffee. That's me. And I did it on a pink background. And I wanted to show you another way you can make your own DIY sign. If you can't find those wood signs at Dollar Tree, you can just pick up an 8x10 frame. So that's what I did. This is the plastic frame that looks like wood. I'm just going to go ahead and pop the glass out. As you can see, it's got like a great texture on it. Kind of looks like wood, even though it's plastic. But it's a little darker than what I want. So we're going to lighten this up with some of this. It's Beachcomber Beige by Apple Barrel. And we are just going to paint the frame. I don't mind if a little bit of the brown shows through. And especially like in the grooves of it, because I do want it to look like wood, but I definitely want to brighten it up. So I just go around and do a thin coat on the top and the outside of it. And I'm going to show you a way that you can actually use the glass in the frame to make a really easy DIY sign. Very similar to what we did with the Easter Bunny, but a little bit smaller, so it'll be an 8x10. Which again, I'll include a link to the printable. If you just print it out 100% on cardstock, you can create it too. I sized it to 8x10. And it was still a little dark, so I went over mine with another coat to make sure it was nice. And I didn't want it to be colorful, but I did want it to be like a way lighter looking wood. And I think that turned out pretty good. We're going to set that aside to dry, and then I'm actually going to use the glass itself as a canvas to make a sign. Now, the first time I tried this, I was skeptical because I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but it actually worked great, and I've done it a lot on my channel here. And so I'm making sure that I had it sized perfectly, and the 8x10 did come out exactly the same size as the glass. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my printable. And then I'm like, why am I cutting this with my scissors? You know, your girl cannot cut a straight line. So let me grab my Cricut paper cutter. That'll make it a little bit easier. And we'll cut this down. I love this image that I designed. I think it's really cute, and I think it'll be a really nice dose of pink. Kind of tie into those pink tulips that we did up at the top of the coffee bar. And I just put the Mod Podge directly on the glass. And so we're just going to do a coat of Mod Podge all over. Just kind of working in one direction, making sure I have it kind of even and everything covered. And then we can just lay the cardstock printable right on top. And then I just use a paper towel again to push it down. And I do want to seal it too to make sure that nothing really happens to it, because you know the cardstock is just paper, kind of acts as a sponge. I don't want it to get discolored or anything to happen to it, so I'm just going to seal it with a thin coat of Mod Podge all over. I definitely don't want to get it too wet. I don't want any wrinkling. So a thin coat, and then all I have to do is put it back in the frame. You don't even have to keep the back if you don't need it. I'm going to use mine as a leaning sign, so I don't need the back. But if you did need the hanger or the stand to stand yours up, you could always just pop the back on it that came with the picture frame. And another little $1.25 DIY. I think it turned out really cute. What do you guys think? And I will try to link my printer. A lot of you guys have been asking what printer I use. I have a great EcoTank printer that I got that I love because it doesn't take cartridges and it works really well. I'll try to link it in this video if I can remember to do that. And this is how it turned out. Our little Sun Bunny needs coffee sign. Super sweet, and definitely I love the pop of pink. And it's not too busy, just like a simple pair of like little Easter ears peeking out from the bottom. And I thought that was a fun expression since I'm doing a coffee bar. Most of these DIYs though, you could put these just about anywhere, whether you have a coffee bar or not. Now check out the flocked bunny that I found at Dollar Tree Plus. $3. They have these in different colors. I picked up the soft blue. He's so cute. He's already got like a little raffia bow. It's perfect. It doesn't need anything. I just trim mine up and kind of like offset it a little bit. But this is going to go great with all the other flocked items that we've used on the coffee bar. And it's going to be a little punch of pastel blue. And I think he's so cute. I love him. I stood him in between the Somebody Needs Coffee and the vase of tulips. And I think he looks so cute. I'm really loving having a Dollar Tree Plus this year. I can't believe all this fun stuff that they have. It's very new in my area, but my smaller stores are not switching, but most of my bigger ones have. Now, I picked up this sign at the Dollar Tree. It says Easter Egg Farms. It's so cute. I just kind of want to convert it into a standing sign instead of a hanging sign, so I don't have to mess up the wall behind my coffee bar. The Easter egg is like in black glitter, but it's not like obnoxious glitter, and so I don't think it's going to take away anything. So we're actually just going to kind of leave him as is. We're going to use another one of those metal stands from the Dollar Tree. I love these. I always have like probably 5 or 6 of these on hand because I use them a lot. They work great to make things into like a standing product, right? So I'm going to put lots of hot glue on the back again and just make this where it'll be a taller piece. This is on my top shelf and I needed to kind of fill in a little bit more area. So instead of leaning this guy, I thought I would stand him up taller. And so you can see it really well. How easy was that? Some of these little Dollar Tree Easter signs are really cute this year. He's got like a little blue plaid ribbon around his neck and some Easter eggs. And he kind of looks like watercolor too. So it kind of goes with the other little watercolor bunny that we included on this coffee bar. I love him. He's so cute. Now, I kind of wanted a couple of items to like put in front of him to kind of finish off the rest of the shelf. And I got these last year for $1 at Target Dollar Spot. I'm not sure if they have them yet this year. I don't think my store has put them out if they do. But they're like just little ceramic bunnies that kind of look like wood bunnies. And so I just kind of piled them right in front. I don't know why that picture is so blurry. But they are a little bit cuter than that. Maybe you can see it from a distance. And I just put them right underneath that sign. Now that finishes off like the top shelf there of the coffee bar. I do want to include a little pennant banner in front of that shelf as well. And so I thought these little bunny butts from the Dollar Tree would be really cute. They come in a package of 5. So I like the odd number, so I thought I would just use all of them. Some of their feet are not printed great, but I don't think it's real obvious. So I'm going to use all 5. I just took some twine. I measured my shelf with that. And just found the middle of it, and I just hot glued the twine just like about a 1/2 inch down from the top on the back of the felt. And then I'm going to measure, because since I'm hot gluing, I'm not going to be able to move these from side to side. And I'm thinking for the size of my shelf, I'm going to like do one of the little bunny bums like every like 5 inches. So I just kind of put that 5-inch mark right there in the middle, hot gluing that to it. It's just a quick, easy way to make a little pennant banner just by using a little hot glue. It just makes it easy. And especially if you space it out like this, you're going to get them even, and it can save you some steps. And I always like to do like little garlands or pennant banner things in front of my shelves just to make the shelves look as extra festive for whatever holiday we're celebrating. which I'm going to be all ready for Easter now. When we get back from spring break, my son has a little bit of break left. He can enjoy the Easter decor we have going on around here. And this is how it looks hanging on that coffee bar shelf. I really love how this came together. It was pretty easy to do. It really did not take me very long to decorate this coffee bar with these fun DIYs, but I think they turned out great. What do you think? Let me give you a little tour of my coffee bar, starting here at the top and working my way down. I have this little wall on the side of my kitchen, between my kitchen and my entryway, and I didn't think I could put a coffee bar there because it has a light switch and stuff like that. But I just used floating shelves to make it work and a cabinet below it. And so if you have just a little area in your house, you can definitely make a coffee bar. And as you can see, they are super fun to decorate for every holiday. And I think this one is ready to go. The flowers and that sign we made a little bit taller there really helped fill the wall space at the top. Sometimes I do like a large sign up there, which in the next coffee bar DIY, I'm going to show you that. But this is a way I could get some bigger items up there without having to do a larger sign. But I definitely wanted to give you a look around, and I will include the printable for the watercolor bunny, the orange gingham, and what was the other one? Oh, the Some Bunny Needs Coffee. I will include a link to all three of those so you can DIY something yourself. This is how it looks all together. I do have blue coffee makers and Keurig, so that goes great with my pastel theme for Easter. I think it turned out really sweet. What do you think? Okay, guys, coming up next, we're going to switch gears and do some Easter DIYs with a little bit of a coastal flair. You guys know I love decorating coastal for every season, and I have 10 amazing coastal Easter DIYs. For the first DIY, we're going to use one of these Dollar Tree plus signs. They are $3, well worth it. It's a nice large sign and nice and thick, and it's already painted so cute. It was a hanging sign, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove the hanger from the back because I thought this would make a really cute sign to sit on my front porch. I have a little table next to my front door. So I'm also going to remove the little silk ribbon from the front just with my heat gun and just clean up the excess hot glue on there. And we're just going to replace a few touches on this and make it into a really cute coastal Easter DIY. I wanted to do coastal Easter for my front porch, and I think this is going to look really cute. You guys asked for some outdoor Easter DIYs, and so we're going to have lots of those today, but I also have lots of indoor Easter DIYs as well. Mine was a little chipped up, so I'm just going to use a little bit of white paint just to touch it up a little right here. And the little hop word too. And hop on in is like a coastal saying too, like hop on in the pool or whatever. So I thought that was perfect. Now for the little bunny tail, they have just a little pom-pom. I'm going to remove that with my heat gun as well. And we are going to replace it with something coastal and something that's going to hold up better outside on my front porch. So I'm going to use one of the Dollar Tree sand dollars. They have these every spring and summer with the Shore Living line. I always stock up on these and the starfish to use year-round in my coastal DIYs. And I'm just going to add some hot glue where I know it'll kind of come together right here. And I think hot glue will be strong enough to hold it up. I do use Gorilla Glue hot glue, which is pretty strong. But I'm going to make sure I get glued on there as much as I can. Now for one of the bunny ears, the one like facing us, I thought it'd be really cute to do like the inside of the bunny ear and make that shell encrusted too. Only one ear though, because the other ear would be like facing the other direction, right? So I'm going to use these little tiny seashells from the Dollar Tree that come in the glass bottle and some of the tacky glue also from Dollar Tree. I love using tacky glue to do like a shell encrusted. It holds up really well outside and dries clear, holds shells really well. I've used it for outdoor decorations before, and I've had really good luck. So I'm just gonna paint it in right where like the inside of the bunny ear would be, just to add another like shell or coastal touch to the front of this, and a fun little detail. So once I get it the shape that I want, I just go ahead and scatter the little tiny shells. I'm sticking to like the tan and white ones, which are most of them honestly. And I'm just going to go through here and just lay them in the glue, making sure they are good and down, kind of buried in it. And you don't have to do anything else. All you have to do is let this dry. I like to lay mine flat at least overnight just to make sure that everything stays in place. But I did start mine a little bit with my heat gun to kind of speed up the process so I could keep working on this one. But I got it good enough where I could keep working with it without like messing it up or anything like that. So I think that is a fun little coastal touch to add to the sign. I've seen this sign a couple times at Dollar Tree and I've wanted it every time. I'm so glad I decided to pick one up. Now, instead of that little silk bow they had tied around the neck, I thought some of the Dollar Tree nautical white rope would be perfect for a little neck decoration for our bunny. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new package here. This is the thinner rope, I think the 11-foot. I'm just going to go ahead and measure out a piece long enough to go around and a little bit long enough to have some tails on there. And we're just going to simply tie that around the bunny neck. It's going to be nice and cute. No bow or anything like that. Just kind of a knot, I thought, would be a little bit more coastal. So I just double knot that and just like kind of let it like come down to the side like that. Super beachy and cute. Now, I don't want to do too many details on this. I really kind of like the simplicity of the silhouette. But for the base, I thought one of the little bamboo cutting boards from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. It's going to hold up well to moisture and weather. And so we're actually going to use that to make it stand up. Now, I didn't think it would stand up too well if I just attached it to the sign. So I'm going to use one of those little Jenga blocks from Five Below as a little brace here on the back. Now, I do want this to hold up, so I'm going to use like a combination of wood glue for long-term hold and some hot glue to get us started. So wood glue down the sides and hot glue in the middle. We're going to glue this block right here where we're going to be able to kind of center the bunny and lean it up against it to kind of give it a brace. I did think about like just adding screws through that, but I think that the glue will hold up. Then we're also going to put some wood glue here on the back and then some hot glue to get us started. And it is a rather thick sign, so I can also glue it to the bottom a little bit. And I just set my bunny sign on there. And I think it looks better as a standing decoration than it did as a hanging one anyway. So easy, and this is going to look so cute on the little table next to my front door for the Easter holiday. I love decorating for Easter. I think it's one of my favorite holidays to decorate for. I'm a big bunny fan, and this is how he turned out. You can see that the glue for the shells there dried. It dried clear, and it's going to hold those on there, and the cute little hop on in with the sand dollar bunny tail. Super beachy and cute for Easter. What do you guys think about our first DIY? And it's, as you can see, it's nice and large as well. A great deal for $3 for that sign. Now for the next one, we're going to make a giant bunny wreath for the front door. This is also Dollar Tree Plus. It's 26 inches, $5. It's like 2 grapevine wreaths together with the bunny ears. It's got a hanger on there. Well worth $5. It's also got chicken wire on the back that you can use to put florals in. But what I'm going to do is take some of this khaki spray paint, take it outside and spray it down just to lighten up the grapevine because it's a little dark for a beachy, DIY. And this is how it looks once I sprayed it with the khaki. It really lightened it up. I also sprayed the chicken wire on the back with it, and it makes it look like a fishing net, which is what I was going for a coastal look. Now, I do want to add flowers to it. I'm going to add some of these beautiful lilies from the Dollar Tree. They're kind of like a mint green color. I think it's a nice beachy color. I'm going to go ahead and grab 3 of those to put along the neck of the bunny. I do end up adding one more here in a little bit, but this was me getting started with it. I did think about putting these on the chicken wire on the back, but I'm going to kind of leave that open. I like the look of it. I like it looking kind of like fishing net. So I use a little bit of hot glue and just make sure I push that down into the grapevine as much as I can, just using the stem that's already on the flower. And we're going to put another one right over here. And I start with 3 on the neck. I do add one more because I think it would look better with like a larger one in the middle, just to kind of center it. But I just wanted a little bit of a floral arrangement on it for the wreath, but nothing crazy. So I just hot glue and push that down into the grapevine wreath. We're going to add some beachy touches to the head and the bottom wreaths there. And I think $5 for this is a great deal because you've got like multiple wreaths here, including the bunny ears. You have a hanger on the back. You have the chicken wire. It's all put together for you. So it's a great starter piece. Now for seashells. These are the Dollar Tree seashells. So I thought I would start with those. Sometimes you can get a variety, but sometimes you get like all the same kind of shells. And this package looked like it was pretty much all the same kind of shells. They all look like scallop shells. And I'm kind of scattering them around, kind of looking for I want a little bit of variety. So I thought that looked a little bit too all the same kind of shells. So I went to my shell stash and started grabbing some shells that I found at the beach just to kind of mix it up a little bit. And I was kind of surprised those Dollar Tree shells are kind of dirty. They don't really clean them very well. You would think they would. But I'm going to go ahead and replace some of those with some just seashells that I found on my beach walks and kind of scatter them around. So I do use Dollar Tree seashells from time to time when it's easier, but I do love using my own seashells I find at the beach. Even though I just went to the beach with my son, he's home for spring break, and there was no shells. There was like a little bit coral, but sometimes we don't have any shells, sometimes we have a lot. So just trying to find a variety that we can kind of line around the wreaths. I thought that would be fun and coastal, and I'm really glad that I painted the grapevine because I think it looks a lot better, that color, with the seashells. So I'm going to go ahead and just use a nail brush to kind of clean up some of those, but we're just going to start hot gluing these. And I add hot glue to the top and the bottom of the shell, but I also kind of push it down into the grapevine to make sure that it is good and attached before I let go. Because again, I'm going to have this on my front door and I want it to hold up. I think right now it's like in the 80s here in Florida, so I do have to kind of think about the heat and my hot glue, but I think that it will work as long as I get them good and glued down. So just working my way around the larger wreath here at the bottom. And I'm going to show you another Easter wreath today too, which a little bit easier, a little bit more lightweight, that I'm going to actually use for another wreath for like my garage door. I always like to have a couple wreaths around the house. Now for the head of the bunny, I'm just trying to figure out exactly how many seashells I want, which ones I want. I change my mind a lot. I found that that's a little nail brush from one of the little manicure kits from Dollar Tree. It actually works pretty well to clean those seashells off because I didn't really want to have to go wash them and have them be all wet. So I'm going to go ahead and hot glue these. And I think it looks better with a variety of different kinds of seashells, so you can kind of use whatever you can find. Sometimes I get some really cute seashells for sale too at Dollar General. I decided against that one because I thought it would be a little hard to glue on, so I'm going to replace it with this one right here. Another really cute little shell. Now, I thought it would be cute to do like the bunny ears too, but they're so much smaller, I need small seashells. So these are those little tiny seashells from the Dollar Tree that come in the glass bottles. I like to organize mine in one of those little toy organizers from Dollar Tree. And I want a variety of all different kinds. And so I'm just going to kind of scatter those around. And they are just the right scale to decorate the little bunny ears. I don't want to leave those out. I thought that'd be fun to decorate that too. And whenever you decorate coastal for a holiday like Easter, lots of little fun surprises like the seashells. Always makes me smile. You guys know I love decorating coastal for every season. About half of my videos here on YouTube are coastal decor, and my last video was coastal Easter as well. So if you haven't seen that one yet, be sure to check it out. I have 15 coastal Easter DIYs on that one. But these are the new ones that I've just made upon arriving home from our spring break trip to San Francisco. We had so much fun. So we got those all glued on, and I told you I was going to add another flower. I just wanted a larger flower for the middle, so I thought I would just combine 2 flowers together here and make a larger one. So I'm going to glue another one just to kind of make that center flower a little bit bigger, a little bit fluffier there, and just glued that one into place. Otherwise, it is perfect. It's already got a hanger attached, so I don't have to do anything with that. And it's perfect to hang on my front door. This is how it turned out. Our little beachy seashell Easter bunny wreath. I love it. And just a really fun, unique idea to decorate these little Easter bunny wreaths from the Dollar Tree. What do you guys think about our little seashell Easter bunny? I love him. He's so fun. If you're enjoying today's video, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. We might reach it today. For the next DIY, I'm using one of these giant, I guess, jumbo eggs from the Dollar Tree Plus. It is $3 and it's the perfect beachy blue color. It's a giant plastic egg, but I thought we could use this to make a really cool egg decoration for my front porch. You could also use it as an indoor DIY if you wanted. I'm just going to go ahead and remove all of the plastic on this. And it's just an egg like you put together, but just a really big one. It's got a flat bottom, so it'll stand up nicely. And again, it was $3 at Dollar Tree. Now, my original attempt at this was to cover it with some of those rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree with the little sea animals all over. I wasn't sure if they would stick to plastic, but I do have a lot of them, so I thought I would give it a try. And I was hopeful, but it did not work. So let me show you. I did go ahead and go in here and cut them out. And I took one of the little sea creatures and tried to scrape it to it. And no go. I don't know if the plastic is just too glossy or shiny. But as you can see, I could barely even get it to stick on there. And when I scraped it on there, I would only get like a few pieces here and there. It just wouldn't transfer. I thought about like coating it with something first, but then I was like, you know what? We'll just find another way to decorate this and make it beachy. It's already this beautiful blue color, so it'll be easy to decorate for a coastal DIY. Now, as you can see, it's really glossy and it looks really plastic. I don't really want mine to look plastic, and so I'm actually going to seal it, but I want to go ahead and decorate it first. So I'm going to use some white acrylic paint, and I'm just going to use one of those little stencil daubers from the Dollar Tree, and I thought we could do polka dots. So I thought that would be a fun little Easter egg decor item. And so here on the bottom, I'm just going to start with polka dots. And they make great coastal polka dots because it's kind of, you know, irregular. And as you can see, I'm kind of alternating. So I'm not really measuring anything. I'm just kind of going, I'm going to have 2 rows and I'm going to alternate up and down for the polka dots here on the bottom. And then I'm going to do something to go across the middle to kind of cover up the, where the 2 parts of the egg comes together. And I just continue that pattern, just stamping with the paint all the way around. And this was a fun replacement for the little sea creatures. But I kind of wish those would have worked. I think that would have been fun too. Polka dots are a traditional little egg decorating technique though. So for the top of the egg, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to start and do like a polka dot like right here in the middle, because you're going to be able to see that part of the egg. And then I'm just going to do rows going down, trying to kind of replicate the pattern that we did at the bottom. So I did one on one side, one on the other. That way they could be evenly spaced out. And then I went ahead and filled in the other sides as well. And then I'm going to do one more row because again, I'm going to have a stripe along the middle of the egg. So 2 rows is all that's necessary because the rest of it would just be getting covered up. And this is just a great way to do polka dots, those little stencil daubers. I love these. These things are so versatile. So I just went all the way around and stamped a second row. I'm going to go ahead and give these a quick dry and then we're going to seal them. I want to use like a matte finish sealer to take away all of the glossiness and sheen from the plastic and kind of make them look more like stone, which is what I would want. I saw some really cute like stone Easter eggs for outdoor decor, and so I want to try to recreate that but using a cheap $3 egg from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to go ahead and put mine in a box to kind of protect from the overspray, and we're going to go in and seal them. This is the Rust-Oleum matte finish. Whatever you use, just make sure it is a matte. That's going to take away that plastic shininess and just leave that beautiful beachy blue color behind. So I'm just doing one coat, and it seemed to work pretty well. I need to kind of turn this around without really touching it. There are some holes there in the bottom, and I just turned it around and sprayed that, gave that a quick dry, and we're going to do this same thing with the top. And it really did make them look like kind of like more like ceramic, which is kind of the look I was going for. So the same thing on this one, I just did one coat of the matte finish all over. And then we can dry this and put this egg together. We're not going to go too crazy with the decorations. We are going to do some beachy coastal things, but the polka dots are kind of the main decorating on these. So this is how they look. I do want it to be weighed down like it was like a heavy, like concrete egg. So we are going to weigh down the bottom of it. And then for the stripe that I was talking about to hide the seam in the plastic egg, I'm just going to use some of this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. This is kind of the thinner one. And just kind of wrap that all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off a piece that's large enough. And then I'm going to go ahead and weigh down the bottom of this egg. And it really did make a really nice sturdy piece once I got it all weighted down. So for the weights, I'm just going to use some leftover rocks I have from the Dollar Tree from previous DIYs. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever you have. Just something to weigh it down so it's not going to tip over in the weather or be, really cheap on the front porch. It's going to be a nice heavy piece. It's going to stay put in the weather. So then it's just a matter of putting this together. It's a little trickier than you think, trying to get the lid on there just right. But once you get it snapped together, it is pretty secure. So I didn't bother gluing it or anything like that. It seems like it's going to stay put. Now we can go ahead and add that stripe around. I'm doing it right along the seam, which is kind of towards the middle of it. Just lining that up so it will cover that. And then also that's going to be the middle stripe. I'm trying not to mess up any of my polka dots there and trying to get it kind of spun properly. And so I'm going to go ahead and start here on the back with a little hot glue for the end. And this is a skinnier burlap ribbon, but it does still not really fit super tight around the top. I'm just going to pull it as taut as I can here and glue that to the back. And it is tight against the bottom, but it is a little loose around the top. So I just kind of do a section at a time and hot glue that to the egg itself so I don't have that big gap between the egg and the stripe. I want it to fit a little bit more closely. And I kind of want it to be centered too. So I'm kind of just doing one little section at a time. That way it's not too much that has to be kind of pulled in. But this technique did seem to work. At first I was a little concerned that it wasn't going to be snug enough, but this was a great little hack to kind of fix that. Now, once I have that on there, I wanted to add just a beachy touch. So we're going to add some of the Dollar Tree starfish. Again, these are from the Shore Living line. That's coming very soon at Dollar Tree. Usually it's April. And we're going to add those. I thought 3 would be plenty. We can kind of stagger them around and have the burlap on the background. It's going to look nice and beachy. I think this is going to look really cute on my front porch. It's going to be a fun complement to that little Easter bunny that we made with the sand dollar tail. So I'm just using hot glue and gluing that directly on the burlap, and it does kind of glue it to the plastic egg as well. About a third of the way around, I'm going to go ahead and glue another one. And these are great like plastic starfish. They do kind of look real. You can even paint them if you want. They work great for crafting because they're pretty uniform and pretty flat there on the back, so you can glue them onto things pretty well. I always stock up. I'm running a little low. I will definitely be stocking up soon at Dollar Tree. So I glued on all 3, and I think that's it. I love how this turned out. It's exactly what I pictured. It's going to be so cute sitting on my front porch for Easter. And I just love how it turned out. I mean, it's cuter than the ones that I saw that were like super expensive online. And this is it, our little giant coastal Easter egg for the outdoors. You can see it still has like kind of a pretty shimmer, but none of that plastic glossiness. So that is a fun little technique to kind of convert that. Didn't that turn out really pretty? I love it. Now for the next DIY, I told you we are going to do another Easter wreath. And so we're going to use one of the little just round metal wreath forms. This is the gold one. They come like in a 3-pack. And then some of the egg garland from the Dollar Tree. Plus, this was $3. I thought these eggs were so pretty. They're like these beautiful beachy blue and white colors. They're distressed with a little bit of gold. And I thought they'd be perfect to make a little coastal Easter egg wreath. So there's always a weak point at those little wreath forms that are really easy to bend and break. And I knew these already had holes in them because they would be strung on garland. So it'd be easy just to pull them off and put them directly on the wreath. And I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough to be able to go all the way around this. I was a little short, but I did make it work because this is a pretty large wreath form. These little eggs are foam, and so they're nice and lightweight. It's super easy. All you have to do is just pull them off the string and then just push them on the wire, making sure you stay in like the hole that's already kind of drilled in the middle of them. I'm just keeping the same pattern that they had on the garland, alternating the blues with like the little white eggs in between them. I think these are so pretty. They had so many beautiful egg garlands like this at my Dollar Tree and like the Dollar Tree Plus aisle. I'm not a big fan of the little plastic ones that are like this for $1.25. I think these are well worth $3. And so I'm just stringing those along. I did find that if you kind of cut the string, they came off a little bit cleaner because they are kind of glued on, but with just a little pull, they do come right off. And isn't this like quick and easy? No drilling of the eggs or anything like that. Just sliding them on a Dollar Tree wreath form. And as you can see, I'm going to be a little bit short. And I don't really have anything that's strong enough to cut that wire. So I'm going to show you what I did to make it work. I'm going to go ahead and feed the wire into the egg on both sides. And that's going to keep the wreath form together. It's also going to make the wreath form a little bit smaller. So I did that on both sides, kind of like cinching it up as tight as I could get it. I did try to push those into the eggs as far as I could, even trying to kind of push them a little bit farther with like a pair of pliers. But I think that tension is going to be enough to keep this together. It seemed to be pretty strong. And we'll just make that like the top of the wreath form. And we can kind of disguise that part of it because I wanted to do a bow on the top of the egg wreath anyway. So I just went ahead and got that as tight as I could get it. And so I'm like about 1 egg short there. I'm going to go ahead and fill that area in with hot glue. That's going to glue those 2 wires together. I was going to wire it, but it seems pretty sturdy. I think it's going to stay put. Now for the bow, I'm going to use some of the wired burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree because I wanted like a big fluffy bow for the top of the wreath that I could shape. So I really wanted the wire edging, but I wanted the burlap because I think that looks fun and beachy. So I'm going to make a really simple bow. It's really easy to use like this bow fabric that is the same on both sides because there's no twisting involved. So I just did a tail and 2 loops. Then I'm going to repeat that again. So now I have a total of 4 loops. And since it's a big wreath, I'm going to go ahead and do that again for a total of 6 loops so we can have a big full bow on the top of this wreath. So I'm just going to cut down my second tail. And then just using a little zip tie from the Dollar Tree, we're just going to cinch that up into a simple little bow that anybody could make. Once you get it pulled tight, you can just snip off the rest of your zip tie. You're going to want to pull your tails down to the same size and just start shaping your bow. The wire on these is not super strong, but it's enough to kind of shape it. So I just kind of shape it the way that I think is going to look good. It's going to cover that space that I don't have an egg for. And it's going to, the egg kind of probably would have gotten in the way anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and add it there. I did think about flipping it around and doing it at the bottom like that, but I decided I liked it at the top better. I also thought about adding a Dollar Tree sand dollar, but I decided it was too big. It kind of flattened the bow down and didn't make it as full. So we'll use something a little bit smaller, but still beachy. I'm just going to take some twine here and we're going to make a simple hanger while I can kind of get to that area just by tying a little knot and a little loop there at the top. And then we can go ahead and attach the bow to that area as well. I'm just going to use another zip tie. I thought that'd probably be the easiest thing to zip tie that to the wire wreath form. And I am going to add some decor piece to the middle of the bow. That's going to cover up the zip ties. So I just got that as tight as I could, trimmed off the excess. And then once you get your bow on there, it's just a matter of kind of shaping it. Kind of have them go different directions if you can, but kind of symmetrical. And then I wasn't sure if I should dovetail the burlap, but I thought it looked a little weird. So I went ahead and dovetailed it, but only a tiny bit, just to kind of give it a finished edge there. And then I was trying to find something small enough to kind of cover the center part of the bow, but not too large. So I thought a seashell would be perfect. So this is just like one of the little Dollar Tree scallop seashells. And we're just going to glue that to the bow itself. And just a little fun beachy touch to go with those beachy blue Easter eggs. This was such an easy Easter wreath to make. And again, I am making this Easter wreath for my garage door. I think it'll be really cute. And the foam eggs are nice and lightweight, so it won't like be banging against the door or get in the way or anything like that. I think it's going to be just perfect. Now, aren't those eggs so pretty? I was so happy to find those. This is the first Easter that we've had Dollar Tree Plus in our Dollar Trees. And some of their items are really, really, really cute. And this is how it turned out. I thought it was really simple to do, no drilling or anything like that. The foam eggs were perfect, and I really didn't have anywhere in my home to hang any egg garland anyway. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about memberships. For $4.99 a month, you can get early ad-free access to my videos, and it's a quick, easy way for you to support me here on YouTube. All you have to do is hit that join button under today's video. Now for the next DIY, I found this great little Easter egg topiary at Dollar Tree in the Dollar Tree Plus aisle. This one was $5, and I told you guys that I was going to make it a little bit beachy. I think it's already beachy because it's got the blue Easter eggs and the burlap covering the base of it. Isn't it so cute? And I've made something very similar in one of my previous DIY videos where I used Dollar Tree plastic cutting mats and we glued Easter eggs to it. And kind of got like the same kind of effect, but more of a mossy topiary. I thought this was so cute. I could not pass it up. And it's so easy to decorate it. We're just going to use a couple of the Shore Living items from the Dollar Tree again. starfish and a sand dollar to make this simple and coastal. You can kind of add whatever you've got, seashells or whatever. I'm going to use like a total of 3 of these little starfish. And we're just going to kind of make them like as ornaments, like on the topiary, kind of like you're like decorating a little Christmas tree. It's kind of full, so you can kind of just kind of sit them in there if you want. If you're going to use this outside, which this is definitely a large enough topiary to use outside, you totally could. You could just kind of glue those in place to make sure they stay. I went ahead and did one at the top, one at the bottom, one right over here, and then I actually decided to use a 4th one right over here. Most of mine stayed in place, but I did go back and like hot glue a couple just to make sure that they didn't go anywhere. And then we're also going to decorate the front with a sand dollar. It's already nice and beachy there on the front with the burlap, but I thought one of these little Dollar Tree sand dollars would be perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of pull the bow. I kind of found like the front of the topiary that I like the best, and that's going to be the front of our piece. We're just going to hot glue the sand dollar. These are plastic too, the little sand dollars from Dollar Tree, and they're so easy to craft with. And I think that looks so beachy. You could also use like seashells, like some larger seashells would be great. But the eggs and stuff are already the perfect beachy colors if you can find this one. There was a few different ones that they have that would work for coastal decor. There was one that was kind of like ferns and stuff like that. So this one fell out, so I just went ahead and hot glued it to some of the greenery in there to kind of make sure that that doesn't fall out again. But this DIY could not be any easier. You can use this for your front porch. I think I'm going to use this in my entryway, but inside. But I thought it was really beachy and fun and so easy to put together just by adding a few more coastal touches to it. What do you guys think about our little Easter egg topiary? I love it, and very little to DIY on this, but it turned out super cute. Okay, moving to some like more indoor Easter decorations. I found these little bottles at the Easter aisle at Dollar Tree. They're so cute. One is like pinkish purple, one is yellow, one is blue. I went ahead and got all 3 because I thought I could put them together for 3 little Easter vases to make a really cute display. I love the look of them. They're very like iridescent. I'm just going to go ahead and remove the tags from the bottom. They already have burlap bows on them, which are super cute. I'm just going to kind of update them a little bit just by kind of moving the bow to the bottom of the top of the bottle and just retying those to kind of make them a little bit smaller. They were kind of all over the place. And then kind of trimming the tails down to make 3 small bows so they're just not quite so large and unruly. But I love the burlap ribbon. It's super cute. I wish they sold this size burlap ribbon at Dollar Tree. I would definitely use that a lot. And I'm going to do the same thing on the yellow vase and on the blue vase. We're going to do a little Easter tray to display the 3 Easter vases. And I found some glitter coral from the Easter section at Dollar Tree that's going to match each little vase and be really cute. And I thought glitter coral would be perfect because it's going to be coastal too. Now, I like these. I think they turned out really cute. I did want to add a little bit more of a coastal touch to them, though. And I have some of these little clothespins from the Shore Living line of little starfish. And I like to pop them off and use like whatever the ornaments are on them, usually without the clothespins. So sometimes they're very difficult to get apart. Sometimes they're easy. I just kind of blast mine with heat until the glue is soft enough to pop off that last piece. Now, some of them, like this one, just pop right off, no problem. But sometimes you can damage whatever you're trying to pull off, but a little heat always seems to help. And I'm going to do one little starfish for the front of each one. It's kind of a beachy blue color, which is fine, but I kind of wanted something to kind of stand out against that pink, yellow, and blue vase. And so I'm just going to paint mine white. I'm just going to use a little makeup sponge. It's a great way to paint these thin wood pieces from the Dollar Tree and just go over all 3 of them to have 3 little tiny starfish. I wanted something small enough to kind of fit on the front of the bottles. And they have lots of little holes in them too. So I'm just using a toothpick to make sure that I'm not like blocking any of the holes. And I do want it to be a nice bright white. So once it was dry, I did go over it with the second coat just to make the white a little bit brighter. Now it's just a matter of attaching those to the front of my vases. I'm just going to glue them about halfway up. I have all my bottles lined up next to each other so I can make sure they're all kind of in the same place. I kind of want them all to be symmetrical. So I'm going to do the center one first, and then we can do the other two as well. And I'm just simply hot gluing those on. Just a little fun way to decorate the front of the vase as well. And I just love these vases. I've never seen these at Dollar Tree before. I think they might be new for Easter this year. Now, these are the glitter coral that I want to put inside. I thought pink for the pink one, yellow for the yellow one, and like blue for the blue one. So we're going to go ahead and get those ready. I think one sprig of coral will be plenty for each vase because the vases are pretty small. And I also picked up some more of the blue to save to do coastal DIYs with because I think it's so beachy. Now I do want them to stand in there, and I don't want to just put the plastic stem in there. I want something to be able to put them in. So I'm actually going to use some of the sand from the Dollar Tree. This is the white sand, but honestly, I don't think it would really matter. You're not going to be able to see it too much. And I'm just cutting a hole in the corner so I can just pour it in there. I needed quite a bit to be able to have enough area to kind of push that down inside. I'm kind of going past the area with the starfish on there so that I have plenty of sand in there. So I did have to use some of another bag as well to make it as tall as I wanted since I'm doing all three of the vases. And I just made sure to kind of fill them all up evenly because we're going to be displaying them all side by side on a little Easter tray. So that's about how far I filled mine. And it couldn't be any easier. We're just going to leave like the coral all attached. It's just a matter of putting them down into the sand about as far as it can go. And it's actually quite tall, these little glitter corals. And I thought this was a great way to use these and incorporate these for Easter decor and also coastal. So this is how my three vases look. I think they look so springy and fun. And so we'll go ahead and just sit those to the side. We can get started on the tray. I want to use one of these little long wood slice signs. I love using these for crafting. I always pick these up any size I can get. And I like this long skinny one for a tray. So I'm going to go ahead and start here by carefully removing the staples and the hanger. You have to be really careful. That bark can come off. And cleaning up the sign by removing the sticker. I'm using this beach comber beige, I think it is, apple barrel paint, and we're just going to go ahead and paint the wood that color. What I'm going for is I want it to look like a driftwood tray since we're doing coastal Easter. So I wanted to stain it some colors that make it look more like driftwood. So I went ahead and wiped off the excess with a baby wipe, but also distressing the bark on the edges to kind of lighten that up, kind of make that look weathered like driftwood as well. And then I went back with a little antique wax by Waverly to kind of distress it some more, to kind of give a little bit of variation to the color. And then just kind of blended that all in together by wiping off the excess. Still had one more staple over there I needed to clean up. Then for the feet of the tray, I thought the little wood eggs from the Dollar Tree would be perfect for a little coastal Easter tray. So I'm going to use 4 of the little wood Easter eggs. They're all the same size. And I think these will make perfect little feet for this tray. The tray is not going to have any sides, but I don't think it really needs anything. And I'm going to use my favorite color, Cloudless Blue from Apple Barrel. I picked this up usually on Amazon. You know, you can ship it for about 50 to 60 cents is all it costs for one of these bottles. And you get free shipping with Prime. Or you can pick it up at Wal-mart. And I'm just going to go one coat all over my little Easter eggs because if some of the wood shows through, I think it's just going to make it look a little bit more coastal and distressed. So it's just a matter of kind of getting all the edges of the egg. And we're going to do that on all 4. Then we can just attach the little Easter eggs to the bottom of the tray to kind of lift it up and make it look more like a little display tray. And it was so easy to make, and it just turned out so cute. And you could do this with like the round or the oval signs as well. I love these, they're so cute. I'm going to be using a round one a little later in today's video. I went ahead and made my eggs kind of like skinny side at the bottom, if that makes sense, to make little feet. And I'm just attaching them with hot glue on all four corners, the bottom of our tray. Just trying to make sure they're evenly spaced. And the tray itself is pretty level. Those are pretty easy to attach. I think kind of upside down like that I put them on there. Like that is the best way to do it, to make little feet. How cute is that? A fun little Easter touch to this tray. And then it's just a matter of putting the vases on there. They will all three fit fine on this longer tray. And I'm just going to do pink, yellow, blue. I like the yellow in the middle. I think that looks nice and bright. And let me show you how it turned out. Our little glitter coral Easter vases on a cute little driftwood Easter egg tray. Isn't that fun? I'm glad I decided to add the little starfish touches to the front of them as well. Super cute. They have those every year as well. With the Shore Living line, I always try to stock up on all that kind of stuff because I always use it year-round. Hey guys, I have my private Facebook group linked in the description below if you would love to find out when I post new content and see what everybody's been making. I also have a Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. My handle on all of those is Crafty Beach on YouTube, and I would love it if you'd follow me. Okay, back to the DIYs. For the next one, we're going to use one of these chunky eggs. I love these. These are new this year. They have eggs, bunnies, carrots, and chicks. And then another one of the wood slice signs, this time the circle, and a little Easter word that I picked up at the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree as well. Now I'm going to paint this egg, and I don't want to make a huge mess, so I'm going to use a little painter's tape to go around the edges to protect those. And I want to make a really cute little egg display, but I want it to be a beachy. I thought we could use different shades of blue. These are the ones I chose to do a beach scene, a very abstract beach scene on the Easter egg. I thought that would look so fun. Now, it's so easy to do a beach scene. Really, all you need is different shades of blue, and you really don't even need this many different shades. I probably didn't need this many because you can blend the different blues together. And when you're looking out at the ocean, you're going to have like different shades of blue, switching to a different shade of blue for the sky. But it kind of all blends in. And if you're going for an abstract painting, you really can't mess this up. So let me show you how easy it is. I'm going to start with the light blue, like cloudless here at the top of the Easter egg. And just kind of working in horizontal direction, brush that. I'm going to go with the Caribbean color, that more turquoise teal, and do that for kind of like a skyline. Switch it up to some of like the other shades of blue to do different shades of blue as I'm coming towards me. I do want to leave a little bit of room at the bottom of the egg to be able to actually do like a sandy color beach. And then I just kind of go in and blend them in together. Now, I did do one coat and gave it a dry, and I liked it, but I kind of wanted to change it. So I kind of did like the same kind of colors, but tried to make some more defined areas and also kind of make it look like, you know, the sun is shining on the ocean. It's so easy to do this because if you don't like the way that it turns out, or if it doesn't remind you of the ocean, you can just add more paint like I did. So I think that looks really beachy and fun. Now for the sand, I'm using the Beachcomber beige color. You could also glue Dollar Tree sand to the bottom. That would be cute. And I'm just going to do a little row of beach here. And I'm going to kind of curve it a little bit to kind of make it look more like a natural like beach line. Just a little bit of a curve. And just paint the bottom of it that color. I think that looks like the perfect color of sand. Then for a little sea foam, I'm just doing some white acrylic. And I'm just kind of pouncing that across to get us started with like a little sea foam. A couple coats of that. And then I kind of want to blend that in as much as I can. Kind of make it look, you know, more foamy like sea foam. I even use like a dry brush on it there just to kind of like fan it out. Make it the edges not so hard. And even like kind of blending it in a little bit here with just a baby wipe. helps with that too. You can also use white to add like just a couple little waves, little sea caps out in the ocean. I'm just going to do a few of them, and then I'm going to kind of blend them in as well too, just to kind of give you that ocean wave vibe. If you had some ocean scrapbook paper, you can also cover it with that. Super easy, but again, painting the ocean scene is so easy. Really give it a try. I really don't think you can mess this up. One of the first things I did was paint a giant one of those for my living room. Now for the base of the egg, it stands on its own, but I thought we could make it even more special by using one of these wood slice signs from the Dollar Tree. This is the round one, and you have to be really careful when you pull out the staples. As you can see, the bark will come off, and I did kind of break it on this side, but I'll show you how I fixed it as well. Went ahead and pulled it off and got the staple out of it. And then just a matter of gluing it back in there. It's kind of an even cut, so if I can get it in there the right direction, then you're not really going to be able to tell. And I'll just make that the back of my sign anyway. But that's why I'm always saying to be careful when you're pulling those staples out. They really like to take the bark off. And you can use like the Cricut weeder too to kind of get some of those leftover staples out of that. So we have a fun little round base for the Easter egg. And then I also want to add a little Easter sign to the egg. I thought that'd be really cute. This is just a little cursive Easter egg word sign that I found at Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. And I wanted to stand out against the blue ocean, so I'm just painting it with some white acrylic. And then for the base, I kind of wanted to blend in with the sand. So I'm going to use like that beachcomber beige for this one to kind of stain it as well. And kind of wipe off the excess. And kind of make that look like a continuation of the beach that's at the bottom of the shell. I thought it would just make it look like a more substantial piece if it had a base, even though, again, the egg will stand on its own. It's really nice and chunky. I did do a second coat of white on that Easter sign to really make that white pop against that blue ocean background and make sure I have good coverage on that. And I love those little signs. They're so cute. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove my painter's tape. It did a pretty good job of protecting the sides of my egg, and I'm glad that I did it because there was lots of painting there. And then I'm just going to attach a little bit of hot glue here to the back to attach the Easter egg word to the front of the egg right here over the water. Super cute little touch. And then I thought we could decorate the beach as well. I buy these little tiny starfish on Amazon. I have these posted in my Amazon shop that I have linked below under like beach decorating things, ideas. I have a beach category in my shop and I love them. As you can see, I buy like the ivory ones. I also buy the teal ones. They're so cute and they're so fun for crafting. And then I'm just going to attach my egg to the base like that. As you can see, it's a nice, thick, chunky sign. I think it's going to hold up well with just hot glue. So I did 2 rows of hot glue and just set my chunky Easter egg onto the wood slice base. And so easy. Now, since I kind of continued the look of the beach there at the bottom, I thought we would kind of decorate that too. Since this is an indoor decoration, I'm not going to do sand or anything, but I thought seashells would be cute. So I'm just going to pick out some of these little seashells from the Dollar Tree, the little miniature ones, and just kind of decorate the base there in front of the Easter egg just for another little coastal touch. And I love how this turned out. It's so beachy and cute. And if you didn't want to do coastal, you could paint this with just about anything. Or I used the bunny on a previous DIY and the carrot and just covered them with paper that I printed out with designs on them, kind of like a scrapbook paper. But this is how it turned out with a little painted beach scene. The Easter word, we have our starfish and our little sandy beach complete with seashells. And the wood round slice really worked well for a base. Isn't that so beachy and fun? Okay, for the next DIY, I picked up a little metal bucket from the Dollar Tree. This is a nice beachy blue color. A Dollar Tree Easter bunny headband. And I thought we could do a fun bunny ear like floral arrangement. So I kind of wanted a silver bucket from Dollar Tree and I couldn't find it. So we're going to make do with the blue, but I don't want a blue bunny. So I'm actually going to use some white acrylic and just do a very distressed circle for a bunny face on the front of the bucket. That way we have the beachy blue for the bucket, but we also have the white bunny face because the plant itself is going to have some bunny ears. I thought that'd be really fun. So as you can see, I'm just kind of making it look very distressed, a general like kind of oval shape, but all kind of flared out at the edges. And I want it to look really distressed and coastal. Trying to make sure it's a little bit more symmetrical. And then since I'm distressing it, I thought I might as well distress the whole thing. It's going to kind of make it go with the vibe a little bit more. So again, just using a white acrylic and that same chunky brush from the Dollar Tree, I'm just going to kind of drag it, distress kind of any of the blue areas that are left behind, just to kind of give it that same coastal farmhouse vibe that I love so much. Now for the face, it's super easy to do a bunny face. I'm just going to use a black paint pen. I love the Posca brand. That's my favorite. And I'm going to do 2 little ovals side by side for little bunny eyes. I will add some more details to those. And a little bunny mouth. Couldn't be any easier. Just like 2 like little C shapes almost. And then a bunny nose. I'm going to switch to my pink Posca paint pen and just do like a little upside down triangle. Very easy. And then again, some black bunny whiskers. We're just going to do 3 simple little whiskers to cue a cute little bunny face. Now for like the eyelashes and stuff, I needed something a little bit more finer. So I'm actually just using a black Sharpie to do like 3 little eyelashes on each eye to make her cute. And you can use those for the whiskers as well. And then I'm going to use my white paint pen just to do a little shine here in each eye to give the eye a little bit of character. So easy. You can use this as a guide, or you can, use like a bunny face that you see online. And then to make it look distressed, I just distress the face a little bit with some more of the white paint just to kind of break it up and make it look a little bit more weathered. Now these little foam circles from the Dollar Tree fit perfect in the little 10 buckets. So I'm just going to place that inside. And then for the greenery, I wanted it to look like a little boxwood plant, but I also wanted it to be beachy. So I found this eucalyptus at Dollar Tree. And the reason I liked it is because I thought it was kind of a tannish color, kind of like sand, very beach coated, this color. And we're just going to start by cutting off the individual little eucalyptus ones, branches, and putting them in there. I don't want you to see the green foam, so I had a little Dollar Tree sand left over from another project, and I just put that on top to kind of mask that. But I actually got it pretty full. I don't know if you would have been able to see it. And again, I'm just using my floral scissors from Dollar Tree to cut those off, kind of pushing the eucalyptus up the branches to make them a little bit shorter. And I'm just going to keep adding until I get it full. Again, I just want the look of like a little boxwood plant that we can have cute little bunny ears coming out of, and some like fun Easter florals as well. So it's looking pretty full. I did have like a partial. I'm going to add just a few more of those until I'm happy with it. I might as well use all of these to finish this one off. Super cute. Now it's time to add the bunny ears. Again, we're using a Dollar Tree headband. Some of these had carrots on them that looked like they were kind of hard to take off. The blue ones did. So I picked up the pink ones because they didn't have the carrots on them. I wasn't a fan of that. I don't know why they added that to the bunny ears. They don't need a carrot. And I'm going to go ahead and cut them off. Just by cutting the fabric. There is like a wire piece that makes the bunny ear stand up. I left that in the bunny ear. And then I'm just going to use some skewers from the Dollar Tree to make little floral picks that we can put down into the plant. That's going to hold the bunny ears up so we can just kind of spike them down in it. Now I'm going to use those in combination with the little metal piece that's inside the bunny ear. I thought they were a little bit long, and just a little bit, so I'm just going to break mine down a little bit just to make them a little bit shorter, and then again attach the wire that was already in it. It's this flat wire, so maybe an inch or two. I just cut off the end of mine just to make sure they didn't stick up too much. And then I'm just going to simply hot glue the skewer to that metal piece. But I think that's still kind of necessary to hold it up and make it flat. So I'm going to do the same thing here with our second bunny ear by gluing that to the non-pointy end of the little skewer. Then it's just a matter of putting the bunny ear back together. So I slide the wire in, and then you kind of have to cinch it up. So I used a little hot glue and pinched it together like that, so it'll kind of form the bottom of the bunny ear. And then I also glued it down to the skewer so it'll kind of stay in place. And then we're going to do the same thing here with the second bunny ear. Now we have 2 bunny ear little picks that we can put down into the floral arrangement. If you wanted to use a real plant, I think that'd be really cute too. And I kind of did it towards the back of the plant, so the little bunny ears would like be sticking out, from the back of the bunny head and not blocking too much of the plant. And so I have the bunny face on the front of the bucket, and then I have the 2 little bunny ears sticking straight up. Super cute. Now the beachiness factor of this comes from the colors. We use like the blue bucket, the distressing, the tan eucalyptus, and then I thought we'd bring a little bit more blue in with a few flowers. These are the hydrangeas from Dollar Tree, and they're kind of like little clusters. I just pulled them off clusters and just kind of put them down in the eucalyptus. It's pretty full, so I didn't really glue them in place or anything. They kind of stayed in place. It's just a matter of putting them where I want them and kind of organizing the flowers a little bit. I did 2 here in the front and then 1 more like kind of peeking out from the back just to add a little bit more spring to this DIY. And there it is, our little bunny bucket. I think it's super cute. I love the idea of the bunny ears sticking up. And it was so easy to make with just a couple of items from the Dollar Tree. Here it is, our little boxwood or eucalyptus plant bunny bucket. Now, if you found like the plain silver one, I think you could just paint the face directly onto that. But I do kind of like the look of the beachy blue bucket with the little white distressed face. I think he's super cute. Now, the next DIY is so easy. I picked up a couple items from the Target Dollar Spot. This is our little aqua colored Easter basket from a Dollar Spot. It's only $1, so cheaper than the Dollar Tree. And I thought we would give it a slight makeover to try to make it look, again, less like plastic. And I'm going to do that with some of the Rust-Oleum matte finish. So I'm going to go ahead, put my eggs and stuff to the side and spray that with a coat of that. It's going to make it look a little bit more high-end. I want it to kind of look like a ceramic little Easter basket that we're going to fill with some coastal Easter eggs. So again, I just sprayed 1 coat all over, kind of like I did with the plastic Easter egg. And I thought about, like, there's polka dots and swirls on the side. I thought about painting them white, but I kind of like the look of it all, this like beautiful aqua color. And so I left it as is. So this was a great find for $1. And I think it's going to be great to hold some coastal Easter eggs. Now, I don't want to use like tons of Spanish moss and tons of eggs. So I'm just going to take some newspaper and I'm going to take a couple pieces and just put that in there to kind of fill up the space so I don't have to use as many craft materials. You won't be able to see that part anyway. So I did 2 pieces of newspaper. And then we're going to go in with some Dollar Tree Spanish moss. I thought that would look nice and beachy. I'm just going to do a whole package right here at top and try to empty it into the basket so I can have as little mess as possible. When you're working with this stuff, it does get kind of messy. And I just kind of break it apart, make it look kind of like seaweed or Spanish moss over at the beach. I think that looks fun. And kind of going over the edges just a little bit. And then I found the perfect coastal Easter eggs at Target Dollar Spot today. I was so impressed with these. You get 6 in a bag for $3, and they're little woven Easter eggs. They look so beachy. It's like a rope woven around the egg, but it's so cute. I just love it. So I'm going to do a total of 6 here, and I thought I needed 1 more, and I did pick up 2 packages. They also had carrots that I picked up, and I love those as well. So I did a total of 7 in mine to make my bucket nice and full, and then I kind of like the bucket handle up. I tried it like both ways to see which way I like, and I think that looks really cute. And then for another little beachy touch, I thought I would add one of the Dollar Tree starfish. You could also add like seashells, anything else beachy, but it really didn't need too much. But this is going to look great sitting on my shelves for Easter. It's so coastal and beachy, but so fun for Easter. And I didn't even have to make the eggs. So a big time saver. First time I've seen those at Target Dollar Spot, I was so excited to find them because really for $3, that is a great bargain. This is how it turned out, our little beachy Easter basket filled with coastal Easter eggs. Couldn't be any easier, and you can kind of see the pattern there on the basket. And again, you could paint that like white, the little polka dots and squiggles and stuff if you wanted to. Now for the next DIY, we're going to make a coastal Easter egg wall hanging using one of these little tinsel eggs from the Dollar Tree and Dollar Tree rope. I thought we could make something really fun, and I haven't done a rope egg like this before. So I am just going ahead and cutting all of that crazy tinsel and decorations off the front of this. That way I can just kind of pull them off the sides like that. It's going to give me the perfect little egg cage to make my own thing. Leaving all the tabs and everything on there, we can kind of make that work with the Dollar Tree rope. I went ahead and made a hanger here. I ended up not liking the way it hung with that hanger, and so I did end up replacing that towards the end. I'll show you that. And we're going to be using these two ropes from Dollar Tree. That is the 11-foot, I believe, on the white, and the brown rope. I tried to get about the same diameter. Like this is the skinnier white rope, and it matched up really well with this kind of the larger brown rope because I want them to be about the same size. I left the little plastic on the end and hot glued that to the top of my Easter egg cage, and then folded it over and hot glued that back to the other side to kind of get me started. Now this is just going to be a rope wrapping DIY, super easy. Tension kind of keeps this rope in place, and the little tabs on the side kind of help out too. I'm just trying to keep my rows pretty level, and we're going around with the 11-foot rope first. And I'm going to go ahead and just like use like the whole package. Might as well. And I'm going to do stripes and decor with the different colors of rope. I thought that would be really cute. Now I'm looking at, let's see, the brown rope is the 8-foot. So it's about the same width or diameter of rope. So it's going to blend in well with that white rope. It is a little rougher, the brown rope from the Dollar Tree, but you can clean it up pretty easily. Again, I just left the plastic on the back. Why not? And or on the end, because I'm going to put it on the back. Hot glue that actually to the next rope next to it, because the cage is not on the back, so you don't really have a lot to glue to back there. And just make sure your hot glue dries so that it's strong enough you can pull on it, wrap it around. And it's kind of good that the brown rope is skinnier or shorter because I just wanted brown stripes. So I made sure to end my rope there on the back instead of on the front, so I can hide all of my rope seams here on the back. And then where one stopped, I started my new package of white, and we're going to do our white section of the Easter egg by simply wrapping it. Now I am, using more rope than if I just covered the front of the egg with rope, but I didn't want like the rough edges of the cut rope on each side of the Easter egg going all the way up it. I like the cleaner edges of actually wrapping it like this. And I love how this turned out. It was so fun. So again, I used the entire package of white until 11, making sure to end it on the back with enough room to start my next package in another one of the 8-foot of the brown rope. And really the only thing on this was just the patience to kind of let the hot glue dry there. And then my first row, I would kind of glue it to it as well. That way all of the rope is kind of glued together back there, over there to the side to try to make it stronger. And we're going to do a second stripe with the brown rope. I thought that would be cute to use the two different colors of rope that the Dollar Tree already has for the stripes. It's nice beachy coastal colors, the white and the brown like that. So I'm going to do 4 rows of that, ending it here on the back. And then we can use a final package of the white. So I used 3 packages of the 11-foot white and 2 packages of the 8-foot brown to cover one of these Easter eggs. Again, I'm starting that there on the back, gluing the ropes to each other to get it started, and then starting to wrap. Now, I did notice it wanted to kind of slide down here at the bottom part of my egg, and I wanted to say taut, so I started hot gluing it down to the cage itself and to the sides to make sure that it stays in place, because I didn't want this rope slipping off the bottom of the egg. I thought about making this a standing piece, but I chose to make it a hanging sign. But again, I didn't really like the way it hung with all of the rope, maybe because it's wrapped around the back. It made it a little bit thicker, but I'll show you how I fixed that problem. I just cut the rope off here at the end to finish off our egg, gluing it all together, again, making sure the end is on the back where you can't see it. And there's our little white Easter egg with the brown stripes. And I thought we could decorate it a little bit more, make it beachy. The brown rope, again, is rough. So I'm just going to burn off the fuzzies with a lighter to kind of clean that up. And then check these out. These are from Hobby Lobby. I came home from vacation to a great surprise from one of my Crafty Beach Bum members. Thank you so much to Janae. She sent me these, and they say they're hot from Hobby Lobby, and they're nice and beachy, so I thought these would be perfect to decorate a little coastal Easter egg. So we're going to use those today. Thank you so much, Janae. She sent me these and a few other little beachy items. Super sweet of you. And I'm going to do like a little shell, 2 shells and a starfish here for the middle section. I do want to paint them like a beachy color, so I'm going to use that cloudless color and paint those. And I thought we would add just like little decorations on there besides just the stripes to make it nice and coastal and fun. And I'm going to do the same thing here with this little starfish. Nothing crazy, just kind of like one coat to make those blue. And then I'm just going to kind of decorate that center section there of the white rope. Going to do one right here in the middle, just hot gluing that directly to the rope. And this was a really great way to decorate. And I love these. These are so cute. Again, Dollar Tree will have some stuff as similar. I don't know. They don't normally have any quite this small, but pretty close. But aren't these so cute? I'm going to also add some more because I love the way that looks. So I'm going to do a little seahorse and a sun here at the top. And then for the bottom, we can do a crab and like a little hibiscus flower. That way they're all kind of different, but they're all beachy. I like the look of them painted blue, so I'm going to go ahead and paint those blue as well. That same cloudless color, and they'll all kind of match. And that's going to be all the decorating for the egg. I think it turned out really cute. So just one coat of blue, again, just hot gluing those to the rope itself. And I thought that made really fun little Easter egg decor. So I'm glad I received those just in the nick of time because they worked out perfectly for this little DIY. We do not have a Hobby Lobby in my town, so I never know what they have there. Now here on the back, I'm going to make a new hanger because again, I didn't like the way it hung on the wall. It kind of stuck out a little bit, but I'm going to glue the rope together there to kind of make sure they're solid. That's not going to go anywhere. Then I'm going to go in with some twine and kind of move my hanger down a little bit more towards like the top quarter of the egg. And I just did a little twine circle right there instead of the original hanger on the top, and that made it hang flat against my wall and kind of solved that problem. But here it is, our giant coastal rope Easter egg with little beachy decorations, and I think it turned out really cute. I really like using the 2 different colors of rope together. I think they look really nice. And another fun coastal Easter decor piece for my home. And you've made it all the way to the final reveal. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to comment your favorite Easter DIY in the comments below, or just come say hello. I love reading all of your comments. And don't forget to subscribe. Enjoy the final reveal.
the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. Standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one a heart as pure, no, not like yours. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you. Smile. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Dreaming of you.
Be wrapped around your arms instead of being lonely. We could be gazing at the stars, but now it feels just like I wandered off into a room and closed the door behind me. I never gave the key to you, even though I wanted to. I should be trying something new, but now my body's aching. I'm tired of dwelling in the dark, it's just that my heart can't take it. I didn't know what it would cost me when I let you go. I feel alone, and I'm just singing, It should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know. It could have been you. What a crime and what a shame to let go. Sometimes I just don't know what to do. It should have been you. I could be driving to your place, but now the ground is shaking. Could be a phase, but it feels like it will never go away until we make up. I can't be myself. I never knew how much I needed you. It should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know. It could have been you. What a crime and what a shame to let you go. It should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know. You could have been the one who made me feel home. What a crime and what a shame to let go. Ooh, it should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know. You could have been the one who made me feel at home. What a crime and what a shame to let you go. Sometimes I just don't know what to do. It should have been you.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. You fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. Standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one who has a heart as pure, no, not like yours.
Thank you so much for joining me today, and I also want to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of my Crafty Beach Bum members for supporting my channel here on YouTube. Thank you so much to Karen O'Haron, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Carrie R., Tracy Knight, Nancy Wunner, Julie Miller, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Maria Grace, Donna Schreiner, and Sandy C. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Now, if you'd like to watch more Dollar Tree DIYs, YouTube thinks that you might enjoy this video right here. Happy crafting and happy Easter.